I'm sorry, that was gross. Y'all can't even see me, that was gross. I was coming to start the music for real. It's been a minute since I brought this one out.
Damn, that's surreal right there.
Money in my face, what? Hoes in my face, what? Pocket full of money, I ain't running out of space. What? Mama said, baby, you done came a long way. Woo. Still eating ramen noodles, bitch, I like the taste. Dale Earnhardt, nigga, do you wanna race? What? Mirror, mirror on the wall, bitch, I look great. Woo. Daytona 500, high speed chase. What? Put you in your place, yeah. Bitch, get out of the way. Riding in the fast car, yeah, bitch, I might be. Riding in the NASCAR, yeah, bitch, I might be. Sipping on Bud Light like that shit was iced tea. Main bitch wet, you would think she was a Pisces. Dale Earnhardt, push a go-kart. Dirty ass Vans like we at a trailer park. Shining in the dark, I look like a star. Bitch, I feel like Gucci Man, iced out bar. Drip with the swag, got sauce on my white tee. Doja and Gabbana's on my feet, these ain't no Nikes. I'm an astronaut like BBC ice cream. Big baby Earnhardt, I'm so icy. Money in my face, hoes in my face. Pocket full of money, I ain't running out of space. Mama said, baby, you done came a long way. Still eating ramen noodles, bitch, I like the taste. Dale Earnhardt, nigga, do you
wanna race? What's good? Good morning. Happy Saturday. I was just setting up and getting ready to come on and say hi to all y'all, and I started sneezing uncontrollably. I don't know what the fuck has been wrong with me. It's just been part of my morning. So it's been great. Yeah. Fucking sucks. But we are not capturing the game. Cool.
Number one bitch, now you can't replace me.
Let's find out why it's fucked up.
A disaster. I'm a blessed bitch just like a pastor. Flexing like Stone Cold, but my name ain't Steve. Nigga, I'm the GOA motherfucking T. Hold on. Money in my face, hoes in my face. Pocket full of money, I ain't running out of space. Mama said, baby, you done came a long way. Still eating ramen noodles, bitch, I like the taste. Dale Earnhardt, nigga, do you wanna race? Mirror, mirror on the wall, bitch, I look great. Daytona 500, high speed chase.
See, this is why you check your shit before you go live. You think I know this by now, but for real, capture cards E1. Disrespect me. There we go. See, isn't that so nice when the game actually wants to show up on screen? Dale Earnhardt on a race. Yes. I got nothing. I just love Big Baby's comeback. Oh, got it. This sucks. Where the fuck is this even coming from? I guess I was doing a bunch of computer maintenance, so I was down in the depths and guts of a computer that's currently on the floor, which is amazing. And when you do that, you knock up dust, and it makes you amazing. Sorry if I keep sniffling. Hopefully get over this really quick. Oh, yeah, I think. Slight adjustment. Aha! Aha! What's up? Good morning. I got some shit to talk about as we go along, but we gonna just chill, do some racing. So this week we are unlocking the Morgan Aero GT and the Lincoln Co. 03, Cyan Racing Lincoln Co. 03. The Cyan Racing Lincoln Co. 03 is already in the game. It's one of the cars that I have. Personal favorite. I love it. It was part of the Horizon Touring Car Championship. So it's a fun little machine to putter around in. They also changed, oh wait, no, that's not the reward chest. Do we have a scavenger hunt? We don't have a scavenger hunt this time. It's got a photo challenge. So we are Stormy name near Ekbalam. So we're gonna go. Oh yeah, we're gonna be down in the Baja Adventure first. So we're gonna knock that out. And I have like a weird notification that's stuck. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, cool. The radio station's working now. Like it kept getting stuck as I was like getting settled in. But our first good morning, Dreamy Nova. Base red, droopy eyes, base red, droopy eye. Oh my god, I am struggling so hard this morning. Like I came in to check up on Nami before I went to bed. I was like, oh, I'll at least be friendly and like say hi. And I gotta do a 250R to 120. Base green, smiling face. Oh, oh my god, this is so dumb. Why is it? See, the face red droopy eyes, I feel like it describes me because that's how I fucking feel right now. How this shit handles emotes coming from YouTube is not great. I gotta like pull in YouTube chat as a doc so I can actually see emotes. But hi, thank you for finding me on YouTube. If you like my video and my content, please like and subscribe. Morning Nova. Is it not showing emotes? All right, so if I look at it on YouTube, I see the emotes. Over here, you see like right here, that's what I see. I know it's like tiny, but yeah, I just see text. So I thought you really just wrote face red, droopy eyes, face red, droopy eyes. I was like, oh, well, thank you. That's a pleasant way to greet me first thing in the morning. Oh my god. So every time I evidently have good luck for this. Good luck as in I have horrible luck for this. My last, god, I hate this a little bit right now. We're gonna turn that off. My last Forza stream that I did on a Saturday morning in December was right before I got COVID, and I felt like hot garbage. And I don't feel nearly as bad. Well, it's not right before I got COVID. I had COVID, and I decided I'd stream while I had COVID because like I needed something to do. I'd been in bed for 3 days. And I was like, oh, I'm mostly over it. I feel better. I can walk around. And my energy just plummets throughout the stream. Like I'm like in there, I'm falling asleep. I'm getting hot. I'm getting tired. Like this one, I'm like nowhere near as bad. I'm just like a little stuffy and like we'll get the sneezes. And like that's partially my own fault because like I was like in the guts of my other computer this morning. Oh god. I know it's beautiful to watch me wipe my nose like that. I just fucking deal with it. It'll be alright. So I need a Peugeot 205R. Let's see if I actually have this car. Peugeot 205R. If Forza wants to play along, that'd be fucking awesome. Oh, the game just like broke because it's not even just the game in does the capture stop working, or is it just the capture stop working at the same time that are you overheating again? Yo, my main capture card might just be getting tired too. That's like disappointing as all hell. No, the one I'm using is actually like not a horrible. All right, let's pull you up. Sorry if you get a glitch in the music. Sort something out. Start audio. Second. That might have only glitched for me. Then reactivate the LG Mini. All right, cool. Yo, that's so annoying. Yeah. Like, my Series S has been just being a little annoying and a little slow. So I may, I'm in the process of doing updates to a bunch of stuff. So I may switch over to playing Forza and Motorsport and a bunch of my other games on PC so they actually work. But then I also have issues on my PC because my technology absolutely loves me. I have like just molto bene, however the fuck you say luck in Italian. What a Shonda Nova, how are you doing today? Or should I still call you Dreamy on your YouTube? I don't know etiquette on that one. Whichever. All right. You know who I'm talking to. That's all that matters. How you doing this morning? What you up to? Because you were up pretty late last night as well.
Welcome back, Jared.
All right, so we need to grab us a pug. There we go. Don't you love it when a game runs perfectly? So we need a 205. We're gonna take a 205, upgrade her to C class. Tune browser, load setup. Add 120 speed zone once we get loaded up into it. Gotta hit a 120. Just give it a nice run up. Knock it out quick. We got it.
You've arrived at your destination.
Easy claps. Easy claps. Ah! God, I hate this. My body hates air. It's like super not good for me. B-Class Raptor, I guess. Yep, mini B-Class Raptor. Oh, it's my favorite time of year. It's Truckmas. Oh, I don't have a B-Class Raptor. Oh, I gotta like swap into one. I wonder, do I have a Ranger Raptor? I think I'd rather drive the Ranger Raptor. Either the Ranger Raptor or Bronco Raptor. Cool. Cool. And the capture shut down. I love it. I'm not even doing anything. Like when I'm doing like weird complex shit, I understand that like stuff goes wrong, and then I can like take my time and figure out like what did I fuck up. But this right here where it's just like random shit, I have no idea what I did wrong. Oh yeah, now we're gonna take my Magical Girl Spec Ops Ranger Raptor, and I guess it would be better because I haven't upgraded the Bronco Raptor. Actually, I do need to take it to the festival site. Did I swap the engine on this? Maybe keep that stock engine, keep stock all-wheel drive. I want the body kits. I want the Gucci'd out off-road designs. Nah, give me the running boards. I'm gonna keep the basic off-roader shit. Yeah, 7 speed's fine. Actually, we'll tone that down. All right, so wait, did it say I need an A class, or what class does this need to be? Install the mods. Yes, install. I don't remember what I needed. Oh, this is grand. Hopefully it lets me use the Ranger Raptor and it's not like being weird about it. Yeah, B-Class Raptor. That's why it's A-Class. All right. Just buy garage upgrade. Take all the power out of this. Awesome. Can I put... raggedy. I wanted to put fucking anti-lag. Why won't you let me put anti-lag on my Ranger, huh? I deserve to get to go over all over every shift I make. This is just this is truck discrimination in the worst kind. Worse than not letting us to have goddamn drift suspension on trucks. See, I think I need platform. got weight reduction on this. So I could probably... I always like just doing the sport weight reduction. Basic body bracing. All that stuff's good. That's good. That's all probably set up. I think I can put that back on. That gets me to 693. So I might need to do the turbos and then take it down somewhere else. Hello, welcome. Okay. Nothing. Yeah, just my own personal technical difficulties, and in fact my body kind of hates me today. Yeah, I somehow am allergic to air this morning, so it's pretty fantastic. No, I've started nothing. I was waiting for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I cleared space for you this time.
That's fine. But, hello everybody. I am...
Dreamy Nova is a friend that I have from Twitch.
Hello, Dreamy Nova. But yeah, so a few of the topics, I guess, that are because I was actually invited this time, and we actually...
You're always invited.
That's true. I'm never disinvited, but like we did actually plan this one.
Sort of, but yeah.
So no, I think do you want to tackle the Twitch thing first?
I don't want to talk about that anymore. It's kind of played.
Okay. I actually only heard about it though recently. Yeah,
that's fair. So I told you, I think like where we left off on the saga. So as many people who are involved in the streaming community are probably aware, Twitch gave an effort to update their terms of service after some behaviors were noted on the platform that skirted the lines of what they like would allow for sexual content on Twitch. That was quickly then abused, flaunted, however you want to describe the situation, by a number of people, and most prominently a partner on Twitter by the name of Marina. I have been a semi-long time follower of Marina, in and out of a number of let's just say less than politique scandals that have like plagued that streamer on the platform. But it's like one of those things where they like sit at the intersection of so many communities. A lot of people have very polarized views about the person. So Marina was like one of the biggest. Marina, and there's another artist by the name of Sare who also has had their own share of controversy, court them, got pretty publicly punished. And Marina being sort of the most flagrant of the people involved, because Sare herself is an artist, so was doing art and got in trouble for it. Marina, not so much, is more just a content creator and personality, was just like displaying models and stuff and Marina like had communications with Twitch, which gave sort of countervening guidances on like why exactly I can't talk for what exactly they got banned for, and has been kind of standing by like what she did, and people have been dogpiling on her for not really backing down from their behaviors. And that so when I say it's kind of played, this
has been going on for a while.
It's been going on. So there's been it's been like this has been happening for a few days. And it's just tired at this point. Let's see, like my grander thoughts on like what exactly is going on, if I had like put anything into words, I think the people that immediately ran out to like the internet being the internet, you can't have shit without people pushing the limits and like attempting to immediately capitalize on it. And it is,
I would say it's not just the internet, but the internet actually
shows. The internet is a culmination of these things, and it's just kind of tiring to see. And I feel like I had like more cogent thoughts on this like 2 or 3 days ago. Now I'm just like, I'm over this. This is like is one of those like poor things. Like I haven't had like a space where I wanted to talk about it, and by the time like I like have the space to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yep. I was gonna ask you, because you just
asked me about it. Like I could...
Oh no, I was gonna tell you though. Like I just kind of wanted to segue into something that's still like more familiar to the community you're talking about before we start on.
The mess that's going on your side.
Yes. So in book community drama, I explained to you what was happening with the white author that decided to essentially...
Would you like to just tell this story from the beginning?
I am trying to, but it's like I kind of like feel like I've been in it so long as lost points.
No,
so
just start from where you know the beginning is.
So I only know the white author that went through.
That's effectively the beginning.
Yeah,
just start there.
So there is drama in the book community because it's not just on book Twitter. It just kind of like started there, but apparently this author, Shiran, I'm not going to pronounce her name right, but exposed a white author who was essentially being racist and downvoting her colleagues' books with fake Goodreads accounts, while basically ranking her book 5 stars. The reason she was caught in this mess was because she was blatantly obvious, like the fake accounts that she made, they basically went on these mass campaigns of downvoting the same books, and every single one of those accounts were ranking 5 star, were like ranking her book 5 stars, and then going painstakingly through. I don't know if people understand how Goodreads list works, but going through these like Goodreads lists and then upvoting her book to the top of all of those lists. And they were very like niche and weird lists, so it's like why go through the trouble of that as like a regular reader? People don't normally do that.
People don't normally interact with the website like that.
Yeah, not like especially like in that short amount of time period. So she was caught. Apparently, Sharon, the author that exposed it, because this the white author's name is Kate. We should know this just because like if y'all are going to not buy the book whenever, because like apparently there's been some kind of updates on that. I'll get to that in a minute. If y'all are not going to buy any book from this author, like you should probably know it's Kate Crane. But she's Sharon's been sitting on this since probably around April and stuff, and had screenshots. So there are pages and pages of receipts that Sharon was waiting for this person to try to do right, and this person took every step to be like, yeah, nah, I'm just going to continue to like ruin my bag. So Sharon vague tweeted because they did want to give this person an out to come clean and apologize and not do this shit again. It's like, hey, if you're going to go through the trouble of creating what's it called, I feel like it's better it's like
No,
I don't know it. I don't remember exactly what they said, but it was just like, yeah, they vague tweeted to try to get this person an out. And this person pretended to also be a victim of this. And then go even further and try to drag a black author into this mess and say that person was like being ableist or something like that. Again, this is why I was like,
you could pull it up so you could.
That's what I was saying. No, I was saying like maybe just kind of like pulling it up on the thing. But yeah.
I'm not playing someone else's video about it.
I'm not saying play someone else's video, but it's like, yeah, pull up the message. Anyways, that being said, this person didn't come clean. They decided to also play the victim and then drag somebody else in this mess. And then Sharon basically dropped all of their evidence on Twitter, and the book community has been going crazy. Some of the things that we've been finding out is this person created badly. They decided to at first blame it on a friend that did not exist. And the reason we know this friend doesn't exist is because they like have these badly transposed text messages that sound like a fan fiction conversation.
And also break the rules of time.
I was going to get to that, but yes. And they were also like, you could tell they were like Photoshop, because the text messages are weird, where it's just like you would see the conversation from such and such. It would say today. The response to such and such would say yesterday. And then the response from the other person would say today. So we have quantum time traveling, Discord messages. And when people would say like, hey, could we, even before like they pointed out that it was like those time messages, or like those messages don't make sense. Do you have any conversations with this person before April? It was silence.
And the reason April is significant is because April was when the trend of like upvoting her material and downvoting the other author's material started.
Yeah. But like those conversations don't exist. And the funniest part about this is because like this whole story that she concocted around this friend was somebody she met in the Raylo community, which the Raylo community apparently online is extremely small, especially in like the community part that she's talking about.
And to be clear, for those that aren't aware, the Raylo community is the Star Wars shipping community about Kylo Ren and Rey.
Mm-hmm. And apparently there is a person in the community that has a bot and or like something, whatever, that saves tweets and stuff from the community. And like the time frame that she says she met this friend that is supposed to have been the villain of the story and the one that like has done this was around a certain time where this person could go and cross-reference it. And this author was known for introducing people to that specific Raylo community and has done this for a few times, but never introduced a person named the fake friend that she made with named Lily with the name of Lemonado. The username of Lemonado. So her own community, and it's like as much fun as like I like, or as much fun as I have poking fun at the Raylo community, they came in and was like, we the community would like to say that not only does this friend seem fishy as far as like she does not exist in this community that like we know, and here are the receipts, but also after reading these text messages, this person that she is having this conversation about reads very similarly to the Raylo fan fiction that this author used to produce in the past. So after all of this went down, because this is a white woman who decided that, like, you know, her privilege of being a white woman and producing in the space is already not enough, and that she downvoted, and most of the books that she downvoted were POC books. We'll get to that later, because it was one of the things where it's just like when this quote unquote, when she wrote this badly fanfic conversation between her and her friend took a villain turn and was just like, oh, and most of the books that you downloaded, because it's like that just shows how self-aware she is but isn't at the same time, are actual POC authors. So when you do get called out, people are going to call you racist because you did that. Have fun with that, bitch. And it's just like,
That is the most horrible CW level writing I've ever heard in a plot that a person is actually involved in. What the fuck is this lady?
yes. So, yes. So she's self-aware enough to know that, but not self-aware enough to know when she finally did, like, when it was too much, she was pressed against the wall and she really couldn't, like, nobody was going to believe the friend thing because it was just really just that badly written. Which, for me, I'm like, first of all, as an author, if you're writing your real life lies this badly, as far as like dialogue and stuff, that book was going to be trash anyway because none of that shit was believable. But as self-aware as her fake dialogue with her fake friend was about like how racist this appears and like, you know, whatever, when it came to her apology, she decided to be like, hey, I was going through a really, really rough time. I did do these things. However, I was like, you know, taking medicine and I hate when medicine is supposedly the thing that makes you racist, or like mental illness, because I'm like, I'm sorry, there are a lot of mentally ill people. There are a lot of people that have to take medicine and change medicine. I've had medicine affect me. I've never had medicine make me, you know, hateful to somebody that I wasn't already hateful to.
It's like that whole Roseanne. What was it? What, like she said, like
the Ambien made her racist.
The Ambien made her racist. Oh my god.
So she lost, apparently, like her publisher said they dropped her, but I've heard from some people apparently that like they can't actually back out. They could probably like delay and stuff or whatever, but because of the contract, there might be, you know, someone, or it might be a way where it's like apparently the book might still be published, but they were all for all intents and purposes were planning on dropping her. She had to deal with fucking Illumicrate, so she basically was getting the bag. Illumicrate is, I don't know, it's like one of those like specialty like book boxes. It's not like a publisher, but it's like they give you these, like, you can do special edition books. They'll have like box stuff with it. Yeah, they might be spray painting stuff. It's just one of those like new weird consumerism book things that like give you a whole bunch of like pretty packaging and stuff with your book. They dropped her. She lost her literary agent. And a whole bunch of other stuff. So she basically could have had the bag had she not been insecure, racist, or at the very least not acted on it. But she indeed did. And then what we found out kind of like later is another white woman author, because white women can't help themselves but to be the victim, decided to take up for it. And it's like, oh, it's very frightening how somebody can just lose their publishing and stuff all because of like quote unquote a mistake or being like whatever. And I'm like, this was a whole racist campaign. And not only that, even taken out of the racism stuff, what publisher is going to publish somebody? Because a lot of the books were on the same like publishing imprint. This is the vibe of this. What publisher is going to keep somebody on their team that goes through and tries to ruin other books from that same publisher and take away money from them? So it's just like, it's even outside of the racism, it's like, well, that's stupid. But yeah, this white woman decided to take up for that. And of course, Twitter, even if Elon Musk is ruining it, still has huge "this you" energy. And so people was like, oh, so you want to take up for this white woman? They went back and found all of this other author's racist tweets. And now her book is canceled too.
So the consequences for the second... I heard that part. Like, I heard you talking about it, but that's news to me.
Oh yeah, so yeah, another white woman decided that the consequences of of this white woman that had nothing to do with her, she wasn't even in it, was too much, and she had to put her 2 cents in it and ruin her own bag. You really could have just sat there and ate your food. Yeah.
You could have said nothing. Yeah, you had to drag yourself in here to like jump in front of a bullet for another person. Like, the other person wasn't even like the action itself is indefensible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like you're being petty and going after someone else on a different imprint. You're going after the bag of the company that's supporting you. And
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden they're like, wow, it's so scary watching this person have consequences for their actions. Like, why are you? What the fuck?
Because white women cannot help but to be the victim. And now it's not just figuratively, because again, consequences of your own actions is literally continue being the victims. Like, just continue, because why? So I did want to know, from you being an outsider of the community, what were your thoughts upon hearing that?
That is the most... All right. I want to like say like that's the most insecure petty shit I've heard, but I've in the streaming community seen my own fair share of insecure and petty bullshit people try to do and like hide their hand for. And I don't know, like it's weird behavior. Like, yeah, she deserves all the consequences. Like, you made your bed, now lie in it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, the other thing I heard that like the other part of this that was wild to me was her trying to catch other authors in like this group that was like chastising her for her behavior, and like, well, y'all are just bullying me now. I was like, no, this is, people deserve to be mad and vent about what you did.
Yeah. And one of the things that I did forget to mention and stuff, because she did have, and this person actually is a real person, because they're like either a fellow author or a friend that people know. So her one real friend decided, and this is the author's friend, not the other person that decided to insert her. But was trying to say that because somebody in the chat when they were in the Discord when they were first trying to say, hey, these are people being downvoted and stuff in Goodreads. It's like there's an albino snake laying in the grass, and apparently that's a southern black saying of saying, obviously there's like a sneaky white person, whatever. Her albino friend this was tweeted, my bad, the albino snake thing was tweeted, but it was basically in response to the kind of like vague tweeting about the downvoting on Goodreads. So friend goes in, responds and says something about like that being ableist, and then goes into the Discord and says that like, oh, whatever, I'd appreciate if y'all aren't being ableist. This person is an albino, which is whatever. And ableist, and it, as far as like trying to kind of talk about me. The interesting thing about this person is also like an albino white person and stuff like that. This was posted, I think, at like it was like 6 hours ago. They joined the Discord 3 hours ago to try to say and make that about them when it wasn't about them at all. So more time traveling bullshit. Basically, it was just like, oh yeah, you clearly did this about me and stuff like this, and it's like,
oh, I didn't even know you exist.
Yeah, basically, like this liquid was like, A, this is already a saying, and it B, when did you enter here, ma'am?
Someone says something bad about you. Enters chat. How dare you talk about me? I don't know you.
Basically, it's basically that Thanos thing. I was like, I don't know who you are. So
who are you?
So yeah, white women authors have been having a time. I'm also going to bring up some old news because I only just heard about it, but apparently this is like earlier this year. And I'm like, at this point, they should just really do a Real Housewives of Publishing. But earlier this year, apparently, this was after they discovered a white woman author who decided to fake her own death. People thought she was dead for like 2 years, and they found her on social media, and it's like, that's odd, because they literally like raised money. Like they pooled money to raise this book, like have this book published for her posthumously. Yeah, posthumously. And her quote unquote daughter released the news that she had died, apparently from, I forgot what it was.
Canceritis.
Yeah. And she shows up on social media, and they know it's her because like they had all the receipts and stuff.
Resurrection works.
And she apologized afterwards, and I'm like, no, wait, what?
Haha, I'm sorry I faked my death so I could get book sales. Look, publishing, white people in publishing just must feel like they are under like the most pressure, because this is the wildest behavior.
Yeah, I mean, imagine. And this is like after a whole bunch of like apparently a whole bunch of like white, well, not even apparently, because it's like in every media, but like a whole bunch of white people is just like, oh, because of diversity stuff, like my books don't sell as much anymore. Everybody wants stuff with like black people stuff. Funnily enough, the like white author that did all of the like downvoting and shit like this, her books have side POC characters. She tried to get and this was one of the things that was also kind of like published and was like odd, and it's like it also makes me feel like, again, why I'm like, I am weirdly like, I trust you where I can leave you as far as like white liberal people, because we'll get to why. I'm not saying that like, allies don't exist, but you have to show the work. So she tried to do one of these things, and it's like something I've seen a lot, where she was like, hey, she reached out to this biracial artist who also shared their screenshots. It's like, I have this black character, like black side character stuff, and I really like your artwork. I would like to commission artwork for you because it's like I want it to be authentic from like a black person, because I don't want to like, you know, get a white author and stuff and they like do whatever. And luckily enough for this like person, because she's not going to be this, she's like, hey, I really appreciate you looking for like an authentic black person or whatever. However, if your character is an actual black person, I would like to say that like, while yes, I am black, I am biracial, and I think you should probably look for a black author if this is what you're saying, or artist, if this is what you're saying that you want. And she goes into this long diatribe. It's like, yeah, I'm like, I don't really, you know, care. I guess that much. Is more of kind of like really just wanted someone not white. And it's like, it's still kind of authentic. And I'm just like, and like just watching this and reading this, and
it's like it's authentic enough. Come on, help me out.
It really just read like, you know, she wanted social justice brownie points for this.
She wanted to check the box, but she didn't want to work that hard for it.
And it's just like, it really kind of like digs into my whole thing of like,
she's going through the motions but doesn't have the spirit behind it.
I'll just say, like, luckily she goes to that artist, so that artist is not want to be wrapped up into that. There's no whatever, but it's just like, yeah, you have whole side like black characters in your book, but you're doing this to like POC, mostly like black authors and stuff. It's just, again, if the politics surrounding you is like this, it just kind of gives me an inkling of like what type of things I was going to find weird in your book. And I was going to feel like that like black character was not going to be done due diligence, if that is your politic. A lot of these things can be found online. You look up Kate, is Cait, Corain, book Twitter drama or book drama. You will find it. There are hilarious reactions. I'm
sorry, I'm still just weak. You're like, by God, that's the Raylo fandom's music.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The Raylo fandom with the steel chair to finish the match.
Yep.
Oh, because we left out, or like the Raylo community did come out and say like, yeah, we don't know this lady that you're talking about. And not only that, but like the two big authors to come out of the Raylo community are you and this other lady, and you went and downvoted this other lady's book.
Oh yeah, the one of the people she downrated was
supposed
to be her friend.
A blurb, blurb for her book saying like, oh, this is so good, I love this person,
so,
I love her like a sister.
You know that what's that like white woman fight music? I forgot what it is, but they about to be scrapping, because how dare you? Like, I wrote a blurb for you. How dare you go and rate my book fucking 2 stars? And then also, that was another thing.
I guess like she could like, well, at least I didn't rate yours a 1 like I did those.
That's another thing. Some of the like down reviews too, the downloaded reviews, because she did actually reviews for some of them.
Here, have a sip of mine. There's,
thank you.
Bailey's in mine.
Was so personal that it couldn't have been a regular reader, because regular readers don't know shit. Like, I think she wrote on somebody's review, I don't understand how so the publisher was Del Rey Publishing. Del Rey Publishing gave this person $500,000 for this. As much as readers
That's weird.
Yeah, as much as readers do know about certain things, generally people don't go
else's bag.
Well, yeah, how you gonna criticize someone else's bag? But like, generally, readers do not go and look at the dollar amount or know the dollar amount that a publishing company gives an author. Not to that extent. So it was weirdly specific for something that is supposed to be just so that was another tell that this wasn't just like regular people downvoting these books, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like, first of all, I feel like, again, as an author, you're not that smart, but like, you've been a reader before. You know damn well readers don't know this. How would you, like, why would you leave something that's going to further connect you to this thing? Because this was all in a, like, a lot of the stuff that she was in a Discord chat for 2024
Release authors.
Why would you tie something that specific? This whole scheme was horrible. Like, you didn't downvote yourself or certain things. Like, if I was going to go through and do this myself, to make it seem like I was not the person, some of those things could have also downvoted mine. I wouldn't also make it like for every single one rate my book 5 stars.
Like, that's still like the wildest part. Like, not only did you like want to go through and like downvote other people's stuff, but you had to rate your stuff up in like the most obscure places and like have all the same accounts do this and like a coordinate. Man, goddamn.
Bless you.
God, I hate my like body in general today.
I'm hungry. What do you want?
You have pizza downstairs.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. You have pizza and you have ramen. And you also have the quinoa bowl.
I do.
Yep. And then you also have yogurt and bananas and...
But I like taco. And I can eat pizza too. Or I can eat pizza for breakfast. Because like, that pizza actually is easier to...
yeah, and we're also going to be out this afternoon. So we can like just get something after our hike if you want.
Okay. Do that. So, yeah, no. But like... this scheme was like really just extremely shoddy and badly done for someone who's supposed to be a so-called author. And like the fact that you're doing it in and you're in a Discord server with all of authors, which like, again, authors, I'm not saying like all authors are smart or whatever, but like authors are very, like, they have to do research and stuff. They have time to do research and put things together. And I'm like, I feel like if you're a good author, you know, your books aren't just kind of like one note and surface. So it's like it's like going to Detective Con and trying to do a badly like done scheme. Like, you're going to get found out.
She's out here with these kindergarten plots trying to get over on college students.
Yeah. It was extremely wild to see. Like, you have to go through and like at the very least read some of these screenshots, because it's just like she was literally out here playing tic-tac-toe with people playing Clue.
Ooh, you can try, you better than me. Ooh, bitch, it ain't me. Caps, caps, caps. What's up, Van?
Hello. So yeah, it's the most hilarious way to ruin your bag.
And it's like, it's not even like it was a small publisher. Because Del Rey Publishing is a pretty fucking major sci-fi and fantasy publishing company. Because I'm pretty sure I have some Del Rey books in here, even with my like limited reading appetite. The deal has been signed. Congratulations, new homeowner.
Congratulations! Yay!
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the debt and the burden. Remember, everything that we slowly moving into our house. Congrats, that's awesome. Yes. Now remember, everything that breaks is now your responsibility.
Exactly. Except for anything on the lawn, because that was the deal I made when...
Nah, I don't know if Van made that kind of deal.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying for me.
For here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything outside the house is my responsibility. Just a lot of the stuff inside the house is also my responsibility. What my mom told me when we bought our houses, owning a house is like having a child. All the time is going to have his hand out, and everything is going to cost at least $500.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So, that was all of the book drama that like I walked you through, because apparently, you know, even the authors are pretty individual people. I'm going to go and grab lunch, and I am going to prepare you for my complicated thoughts on the Magical Negro Society.
Well, I want to talk about happier things before we get to that. So,
But you can talk about happier things.
No, I want to talk about happier things with you when you get back.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go and get some food, though.
You can slide back.
Yeah, right now.
All right, I think that takes care of that series. So, fun story, right? Let's see. Playlist. Finished all the rally stuff, so we're gonna go do the danger sign for the Hot Wheels stuff. Oh wait, that's not on this camera. Why am I turning that on? Have you done any of Coil yet? Or have you done any of the dungeon activities in Destiny yet, Van? It's a new build, so I don't have to worry about anything right now. That's what you'd think. Look, I'm just telling you, be ready. Just be on the lookout for stuff, especially like if you have like any sort of like warranty with the builder. If you can get stuff fixed by them, take advantage of it. Like, take as much advantage of it as you can while you can. Let's see, what is our PR stunt? Jump up here. NSXR 1992. I did the last dungeon with my clanmates earlier. Yeah, so me and my old school clan did me, Ted, and Iron Tier. I'm already doing that. We did the dungeon with I did the dungeon with them. We got our first clear, and then we did Coil with Rhodes and Big NFL, and that was actually a lot of fun. We squeaked out the tightest fucking for loop I've ever done. Well, it was the first time I did it, but like we made it through. I need a Honda NSX Type R. Yeah, the 1992 NSXR. Let's see. Well, before Charnel gets back, let's talk about the degenerate shit I've been watching. So if you've been following my social media, you would have seen me discuss just how haven't done Coil yet completely. Look, if you can get a it is stressful on your forefront. But yeah, if you follow me on social media, you would see, especially on twitter.com, you would have seen me complaining or discussing the peak of the harem genre that is 100 girlfriends that really, 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 really love you. And God, last week's episode is so special. Like, they start off like this whole subplot that I thought was going to be like the arc that like closes out the season, and the way the plot culminates or at least like where the cliffhanger for that plot like lands you. Oh, god damn it. I both can't stand and love this show. I have the manga already bookmarked to start reading after the show ends. Bro, I'm telling you. All right, which part are you whatting? Because that's the name of the anime. Oh, yes, that is indeed the name of the anime. The name of the show is often shortened down to 100 girlfriends that really love you, but it's 100 girlfriends that really, 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 really love you. And the premise of the show, as I've discussed on previous weeks, for those that aren't aware, is basically a guy, as he's going into high school, is presented by, is rejected for the 100th time. Like, he's asked out 100 girls, and he's basically been asking girls out since he was old enough to form words. And no one has ever, like, reciprocated that love. And he goes and prays at a shrine and says, God, please send me my soulmate. And the God of love answers his prayers. Like, hey, you've been rejected 100 times, so we're going to make sure you find your soulmate. But he leaves out, we're going to make sure you find 100 soulmates. And as he goes to school, so he's better than Issei. Issei from which one? I'm sorry, I cannot. My list of harem protag-kun number 18 billion gets a little difficult to keep track of. But the God of love says, like, hey, yeah, we'll grant you your wish and we'll let you find your soulmates. And in the process of him finding his soulmates, he runs into two girls at his school the very next day, and they both fall in love with high school DxD. Oh yeah, nah, he I hate to put it like this, like, as like fun as high school DxD is, Issei's kind of a scumbag. And Patty, is that like an instant or something? Oh, I went the wrong way. So Issei's kind of a scumbag in high school DxD. The main character of 100 Girlfriends is actually a pretty stand-up guy, and the character writing for each of the girls is actually, all right, it is over the top, because they are shooting for broad swaths. Did you throw your pizza in the toaster oven? Oh, you already ate. Damn. Each of the girls is actually, like, for being a trope-shaped plot device, are all pretty compelling. And yes, there is, like, the whole God said that basically, like, it's like instant love. Like, literally you see them, and like when they like when he makes eye contact with someone that's going to be a soulmate, they instantly fall in love with each other. But he then kind of shows that, like, he's not a trash person, and part of his promise as he like starts a relationship with each of them is that, like, he'll do whatever he can to like make sure that they're happy. And the show not only like shows them being in a relationship with one another, but shows the interplay of the relationships between each of the girls. So, like, it's a harem anime that could pass the Bechdel test. The 100 Girlfriends that really, really, really love you. Because yes, they are all romantic interest / conquest of the main character, but each of them do have ongoing conversations about their own dreams, limitations, life. Give me a second, hands are busy. That are not centered around what's going on with the main character. And 136, that enough? What do I need? Got it.
I thought it was hilarious.
It actually that is actually really funny. But 100 Girlfriends like really hit the peak of their arc this past week. So spoiler warnings for anyone that is not watching currently 100 Girlfriends or is like also very interested in 100 Girlfriends. So Issei is more of a perv than a scumbag. He wants Rias, but everyone else is getting in their way. All right, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, he is a perv. Like Issei is a huge perv. This guy is like wholesomely horny, where he's like, I like my girlfriends, I want to do stuff with my girlfriends, but like I'm not with them just because I want to do things. So like he loves them as an individual and for their own particular quirk.
I know.
Yeah. I do also like doing stuff.
Y'all see this? Don't get married.
When I bought it.
No.
Anyway, so the plot over like the last few episodes, they go to this park that's for couples and stuff, and they do this whole thing where the big tittied horny rich girl, because we can distill most of these characters down to their tropes, knows about this park where like if you go there and like you catch this boat, you catch like do the bride run and catch you get to take pictures dressed up like a bride and groom. And her mom brought her to this park all these years ago, and she always wanted to get a chance to dress up with the person she loved, and to have a set of pictures like that. So she goes through this whole thing because she's been given an ultimatum by her mother that her mother found out about the boyfriend, and that the boyfriend is 5-timing her at this point because she's one of 5 girlfriends at this part of the story.
I hate the fact that they're saying 5 times, 2 times, 5 times, whatever. I hate that, and it's just like, have they never heard of the word poly? Like,
look, polycule. Like Japan is allergic to the word polycule, and like so. Whereas in it's weaker in Girlfriend, which is the best worst poly anime I've said for the last few years, but now I have to change that to 100 Girlfriends is actually, because I can't even say it's the best worst, because like 100 Girlfriends is just a good poly anime. It's an okay all right, if we're judging on the scale of representation of polyamorous relationships on television, it is a passable what is it? Girlfriend is a poor representation of a poly relationship, but it would very much be served by admitting that poly is a thing. How'd I get? Oh yeah, but yes. So, but like from her mother's perspective, because like in 100 Girlfriends, the people in the relationship don't call it 5-timing or anything like that. They just say like, this is our boyfriend and these are all of his girlfriends. So they at least like respect each other in the relationship. Like they have like rivalries internally, but they are not like angry about it. But one of the rich girl's mom finds out about this relationship. Like, you're not going to date someone that's 5-timing. I can't let this be. And you find out like the mother's backstory of why she like is particularly like held up around this. And the mother, I find it a little creepy because they did like a whole like sort of teen pregnancy story for the mother, but they mostly did it just so the mother wasn't like old. So the mother basically had her daughter her freshman year in high school, but that was because like her boyfriend at the time was like super sick, and she wanted something to remember her boyfriend by. So she had a child with him for before he passed away, and she basically like put herself through school, did all this other stuff, and made herself rich because she wanted to protect best worst, yes, wanted to protect her daughter. What are your thoughts right now? Because I'm looking at this shocked look on your face.
There are so many things to remember a person by, but like I feel like the trauma on a child for being a memorable token for your boyfriend to die that's a lot of pressure. And I feel like that is a bad mother decision. just like, no, I mean, I understand from like the story standpoint, that's what they wanted to do, which, you know, is problematic for everyone. But it's just like thinking about it in real life. I'm pretty sure somebody has done that. And it's just like, I just imagine like the type of trauma that I'm imagining that a child will have is like, you basically have me who have a memory of somebody else. You can't live up to that, and your parents are going, inevitably the type of person that does that is going to have an expectation of you doing certain things, and if you do not do them, you are going to feel that pressure as a child in the back of your head, and that bothers me a lot. Sorry.
So believe it or not, that's realistic to what happens to that character, because that character is so obsessed with the idea of being loved that her mother has been pushing onto her. It makes her desperate for her boyfriend's affection.
I don't like anything like that. I mean, I feel like, yes, I like that but that's just one of those things where we're talking about like tone on what I feel like now. I actually would look at that in the appropriate tone, where it's just like if this was a dark anime, because
like the tone of like what happens between, because like she's always so like when she's initially confronted with the fact that the main character of the show doesn't just love her but is in love with another girl, she's like, wait, even though you love someone else, you'll still accept me? Like, that's her response. And every time he finds the time he found like either, I can't remember, the third or fourth girlfriend, is like, there's the most tsundere character to ever tsundere. So the joking meme line about tsunderes is it's not like I liked you anyway, or something like that. She's in the middle of a science class, and she's like trying to light the Bunsen burner, and she gets the Bunsen burner to light. It's like, it's not like I wanted you to set on fire anyway. And like the other character looks at her like, what are you even fighting against at this point? But I finished. I got a cheat skill anime. I got a cheat skill in another world that made me unbeatable in the real one. Yeah, that's like peak isekai fulfillment right there. We'll get back to that in a minute. But so like when he gets like the next, like, I can't remember if it was the third or fourth girlfriend, it was like, wow, you found another girlfriend and you still love me. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm so lucky. Like, it makes her hungry for affection in the way that her mom saw affection. And you don't really see this until you get to this arc where like they meet her mother, and like that's the show like goes into its darkest tone that it's had when like it's discussing like her mom like forced separating the two of them, where you see like the pressures that she put on her. Like, it's not like dark, but like you can see like the mom's like obsessive about it.
Yeah, but that sounds like it should be its own. Like I said, that's something I would watch.
It's disarmed. It's disarmed very quickly. So they do a whole Mission Impossible thing to like get into the house, because like it's a mansion with security and stuff like that. And they break in and get to the girl's room, but it is what is it? It's like alarms. As soon as they open the door, the alarms go off, and they think that she's trying to escape. And the boyfriend and the girl that she met initially, hola la familia, what's up, Kanti-sama? Because the girl that they're meeting is like one of the two first girls, and the girl that goes with him to finally reach her is like the other girl he met at the same time as her, and the two of them have the closest relation. They were close before the two of them met, and they are very likely bi for each other because of other things that have happened throughout the show. So it's like the one that like the two people that love her most outside of her mom. So for reasons, our main character is blinded at the time that he is taken by the mother, And knowing the tone of the show, would you like to know how the entire situation is disarmed for explaining why the mother would allow this to keep going?
I'm guessing the mother is also.
So as he gets his vision back, he makes eye contact with the mother, and they get the soulmate spark between each other, and because it gives the mother's whole backstory and explains like why she's the way she is, like why she had her daughter so early, like why does she do it on her daughter so much, and it was until that moment that she hadn't felt love again. And I literally like yelled at the TV like, what the fuck is this? I was so heated. It is certainly a way to work this one out.
Y'all see my face right now, right?
So it ends on the cliffhanger that the mother is one of his soulmates, and I want to see, because I think that's either episode 10 or 11 of the season. So it's either the penultimate or ultimate episode next week. And I need to see how this happens. I need to see how they get out of this. Or how this proceeds at this point. So yeah, that's 100 girlfriends right now. You're out here with the Hayao Miyazaki like anime was a mistake. So how you been liking Spy Family?
Do you like Spy Family?
What are your thoughts on Spy Family so far this season that you've been watching it?
It is adorable and like so Overly Sarcastic Productions released a new video on something that we as a people that consume fiction haven't actually thought about. We know about plot armor, but there's something called tone armor. And it was funny because Jared and I came from the thing where it's like, oh yeah, Anya definitely has tone armor, but for two completely different reasons. Me, I was just like, oh, she's reading all of these adults' minds and like hasn't gotten traumatized because like we know it's stuff adults think about. And yeah, like, you know, she'll get the occasional like these like people want to kill and stuff, but it's like none of the adults in the show ever think anything like more brutal than like whatever plans they're telegraphing about, like quote unquote killing somebody that's never going to whatever. It's like she hasn't been exposed to, especially since she's reading like these adult male magazines, you know how like quote unquote spoken word shit like that, and none of the worst things have come up on. And Jarrett also had she has the trope armor. And Jarrett, would you like to explain why because like
it was something else that was said in the video, but saying like I'm tonally load bearing.
Yep.
So the best way to describe like what a tonally load bearing character is in the old Justice League Unlimited, where they did a whole thing of like, the Flash is irrelevant, like why do we keep him around? And like you see what happens to the Justice League without the Flash, and like there's no levity in how things are managed, and everyone just gets darker and darker because the next like because like if you look at it almost like a scale, the characters there, god damn, I need this to like lock up for me, thank you. If you like look at like the weighting of different characters' emotional god damn, I was just fucking that up, like emotional
range,
not even the range, like the weight of their emotions on the story. So if you like look at most of the people that were involved in the Justice League, you have Superman, Wonder Woman, Hawk Girl, and John Stewart. So all of them have like they can be happy and stuff, but they don't have, god damn, I am fucking up horribly. They have relatively like neutral mid-range emotions. Like they'll be happy, they'll be sad, but it's like never like exuberant. It's never like an excess of any one emotion. The two emotional extremes you have, oh fuck, I'm not letting that P1 beat me. Thank you. The two emotional extremes you have are the Flash and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of keep one another from, like, Batman keeps things from being too light because it keeps people serious. The Flash keeps things from being too serious because he keeps things light and fun.
Mm-hmm.
But without that, like, the emotional center shifts to one side.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as the Flash died, the emotional center shifts way more to Grim, because then Batman is your next emotional balancer, is your next like emotional person on there, where everyone else is in the middle. And it gets darker, more extreme while the Flash is gone. Now, I want you to think about the type of world that Spy Family exists in, and if you don't have Anya there, it's just Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the anime.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yes, you do have your fair share of like still murder and violence and stuff like that, but all of that is lightened by the fact that they're trying to hide all this stuff from a kid. At that point, you just have two murderers living in a house with each other without the physical connection that drove like a lot of the tension in Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
It's interesting. I like it. I do like Anya. She's my favorite dumb child.
Yep.
Probably my only dumb child. Because like all of the like quote unquote children I adopt in my fiction have been mostly like kind of smart and just like flawed in other ways. And like Anya is just out here like doing Anya. I love her.
Anya is really good for that.
Yep.
What else have you, because it's been a while since I've actually had you on to talk about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If the camera would actually like you and like make you a real person.
I'm good. I love being Ghost Waifu. Why can't I be Ghost Waifu?
All right, sure.
Yes, like being invisible. It goes with my thing. Like, if I'm not a cerebellum waifu, then I'm Ghost Waifu.
Mm.
Yep.
Oh, so Nami mentioned something during her debut, because like she was talking about that, like if she like crops off her head, her model makes her think of Cerebellum. And so, did you think Cerebellum was a white woman?
Yes.
Yeah, evidently, like Nami and a number of other people were like, I thought Cerebellum was black, because like all that big hair, and the body, I imagine that was supposed to be a black woman.
I mean, yeah, but she is like really pale. And to be fair, my like concept of race has changed, because like I do know about like especially like Creole and a lot of like lighter skinned black people. But like honestly, for the longest when I was a kid, it was just like I didn't necessarily think too hard about the concept of like extremely light passing black people. So for example, like when people were just like, and don't get me wrong, I definitely thought that like Mariah Carey, she wasn't white, but it was like it was,
she's Nuyorican.
Yeah, it was like when I was like younger, I didn't understand what Mariah Carey was.
It's like you had like like you had knowledge. Like Fat Joe isn't black, but he sure does say nigga a lot. He sure does say nigga a lot. We do let that get by.
Yeah, like it was just a lot of things I didn't know. So it's like at the time that I was watching And that's just one of the things that stuck because it's like I never re-examined it. But at the time that I was watching Powerpuff Girls, that's not something that I would have thought about. So, like, of course, she's a white woman with curly hair.
I've not shown her Sleepy Princess, and Sleepy Princess is so much fun. So, the name of the show is the full name of the show is Sleepy Princess and the Demon Lord's Castle, and it's kind of what it says on the tin. It's basically a princess that's like kind of tired of her day-to-day like responsibilities as a princess, and allows herself to get captured by the Demon King and be held prisoner, because if she's a prisoner, she has no responsibilities, sleep. But she the first few I haven't watched the whole series. The first few episodes are about her struggling to be comfortable, to get the sleep she wants, and basically ransacking the Demon Lord's castle to find like blankets and to get stuff to make her comfortable. And you find out like she's like one of the most terrifying people. And then it's like also the Demon Lord tormenting the heroes that are coming to favor. It's actually a fun, cute show. I actually would like to show it.
I just kept thinking of that scene in Renaissance where Beyonce is like this, and they bring
the bed out in Renaissance.
How did you so that is good news. How did you enjoy the Renaissance movie? I know that a lot of people have very funny hot takes about how like Beyonce sold it back to us, but first of all, I didn't get to go to the concert because we were traveling all day. So to me, I enjoyed watching the video as someone who really wanted to go to the concert but couldn't. But like I understand people were just like, oh no, it's such a billionaire move for her to sell y'all a movie of y'all watching each other watch her. And I'm like,
even then, like getting this, because like from looking at it and from like what people that have people that went to multiples of the concert said, like each show and like at least like regionally the shows were pretty different, like by costumes, by like events that happened at them, guests that were able to perform at different shows. So like if you went to one, it's honestly probably still worth going to, because one, the music bangs, two, the show's really fucking good. You get to see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. I am a sucker for a good behind the scenes like concert like tour. I've been like kind of holding off on it for a little bit because I like the night we came back from it. So I follow a YouTuber by the name of Tank the Tech. If you like metal music, interested in like kind of like how touring life for god damn it, if you're interested in like how touring life for metal bands and stuff like that goes, or just like touring in general, he's a it's in his name, he's a guitar tech and now a tour manager. And he was responsible for Electric Callboy's last American tour. And I just remembered I was supposed to buy concert tickets as soon as I have money. Because Electric Callboy is going to be in Silver Spring next May. And I am absolutely going to go see them, because I didn't get to go to their last tour because their closest stop was in Philly. And I didn't have money nor time to make that show work. And I didn't want the expense to go to New York. Anyway, I wanted to recommend, like, I was interested in, like, having him go see the movie. One, it's absolutely not his normal style of music, but he does, like, pop and stuff like that. But, like, from, like, your thoughts as, like, a tour manager, like, the behind the stuff things, I would love, like, your review of the Renaissance movie. But the night I came back and I was gonna like ask him about it on Twitter, there were tornadoes in his neighborhood, and there's like a lot of damage that they were recovering from. So from everything I've heard, they've recovered from the natural disasters, and I hope that him and everyone in the area are doing fine. But I'm probably gonna write him about the movie now. But it was really good. It was it's just so much. Like, I'm excited for it to go on streaming at some point so I can like check it out again. Because like I watched half of it from like the aisle because I was like waiting on getting food. But like I did like still get to watch like the whole thing.
Yeah. And it was also very like vulnerable because she was also talking about some of the stuff that she went through on tour, and I know like a lot of people were just like, yeah, you know, I understand given the like weight of things that people are very cynical, and like, yeah, I can understand that, but for what we have, which is like we still don't know this woman, and like to be fair, yes, there's a level of vulnerability that I feel like, you know, is cool to see from artists, but I don't expect them to like share everything with us, like, you know, we're their real friends. It's the same thing with any other person. So keeping that in mind, like she still displayed a level of vulnerability that a lot of people say that she doesn't really do. And I thought it was good seeing a sneak peek behind that, like seeing her emotions going through this tour. Like, you know, she was showing like body breaking down at certain points, and she still came out and put on a show for people. And I thought that was interesting. And she was like traveling with her kids. She also shared how, and again, in a point of emotional vulnerability. So people keep pretending like, you know, these authors are not seeing your comments and stuff online, but Blue Ivy saw, and it was one of those things that like really affected her, those comments from people saying that she couldn't perform, which is like part of her reason, which I like it, because Blue Ivy literally had an anime protagonist arc. She's like, nah, I'm gonna get better, which that could have went so far south because this is a child reading this. Like, people forget because, you know, she's a celebrity.
She's a child of a celebrity.
But Blue Ivy is only like 12 years old. I remember I wasn't 12. I would have just broke down and cried. Like, y'all were bullying a 12-year-old at the beginning of this like concert thing. And like I understand, like, yes, she was, you know, quote unquote, like what people say are stiff or whatever, but it's like she's a child, and so like she saw that. Luckily, she took that as her get better arc and not like what I feel like sometimes a lot of normal kids do, just kind of like whatever.
Shut it down, and I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not good at it.
Yeah, but like that's one of those things where it's just like, even kind of like outside of that, because I also want to get to something that's slightly related, but like, yeah, no, celebrities are people, and like I understand like the whole like, you know, eat the rich and stuff and billionaires, blah blah blah, that's kind of a thing, but it's like outside of that, if we're just kind of like discussing art, and a lot of people are very sensitive about their art, we know this, celebrities are people, and like a lot of times they do have access to the internet, and they see some of those extremely loud opinions, and people don't realize that, especially when you're talking about like a kid, like some of the stuff that we say is like extremely vile. And that kind of brings me up on like the whole Megan Thee Stallion thing, because she recently came out with like a live talking about like, yeah, though, how she's been seeing everybody's stuff, and she's also been very vulnerable this year. Also really love Cobra, especially the remix. Remix goes hard. It got me back into like my emo black bag. I loved it. But like, yeah, we really just, as a society, just we feel like sometimes it's like, it's not that we should not have opinions, but like sometimes we don't really be thinking about how our opinions affect other people. Because like, even if it's not just a celebrity, if I'm seeing your opinion on a celebrity and something similar happens to me, and I'm reading that, I just immediately know how you think regarding shit that happened to me. That's how I feel about it. Any thoughts for you?
No notes. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, do you want to get on American Society of Magical
Negroes?
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
I'll let you go first, since my feelings are strong.
Yeah. So the full trailer for the American Society of Magical Negroes came out, and it introduced like what the actual plot of the story, or what the advertised plot of the story is going to be. And on one hand, I understand what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other hand, I'm like, but why with this though? Like, so in the trailer, they show like it is, it's the American Society of Magical Negroes, and they exist to make white people to feel more comfortable. And it's playing on the trope of the the movie Magical Negro. And they are introducing a new Magical Negro to his role in the society. And in this, he's assigned to help improve the life of like this sort of like typical white dude bro. And part of that of improving his life is helping him get the girl. And in the process of this, the our titular Magical Negro starts developing feelings for the girl. And it like, it's one of those things where like I understand it, but it makes me tired.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, why does he have to fall in love like with like, why are we doing like the Magical Negro falls in love with, God, I hate the way I'm saying, why the Magical Negro gotta fall in love with a white woman?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not as yes, it's as deep as that, but no, it's like not that deep. All right, so is said girl Caucus? Said girl is indeed
Yes.
Caucus. Oh,
So Caucus, her name is Liz.
yeah, her name is Lizzie in the movie. All right, so my standpoint, I see. So my standpoint on this is they are trying to do a stereotypical movie that has a Magical Negro in it, where he helps all the problems go away, and he helps our main character achieve all the things that he wanted. And one of the things that he wants is to get with the girl. And what is the most stereotypical love story that involves Magical Negro? It's two passively attractive white people getting involved with each other. But in this story, we want to have
But there are other Magical Negro things where it's just like the white person actualizes over like anything and getting a job and stuff too. It didn't have to be a romance. But I'm just saying, continue. It's just part of the things that it's like, I feel like, continue. Sorry.
yeah. But yeah, they wanted to like write it as generic as possible, and then have him choose his own happiness over the happiness of his client. And at least this is like my projection of where I see like what this is my reading of the intentions of the story. And yeah, like that's kind of where I am on it. Like, if I guess that's where they want to go, that's the story they want to tell. It has made me far less excited about the movie, because like, I don't know, I almost thought it was like a oh god, I'm about to fuck up. Oh, ooh. Sorry, they had me driving Dom's Charger, and the family is strong in this family car. All right, I gotta pause because I cannot do this. Where is Bagger Vance when you need him? Why can't we look at this man solve his own golf dreams?
So my thing is, I can understand the like satire thing, and it's like I got that immediately, but it's like at some point, if you're not really kind of like stretching the satire, at what point is it satire versus like we just kind of playing it straight. Number one. And then number two, I did expect there was going to be some type of subversion of the magical Negro trope for them using it in there. Like, I did understand that. But, for example, I feel like even if it wasn't just I still would have kind of been like, you know, a little bit like whatever. If it was like, even if they wanted to do the whole like romance arc thing, even if it was just another person of color that for some reason the white person that happened to like, that's also a thing, just kind of like black woman or whatever, it would have been slightly less peaceful. It was like, there are ways they could have done this whole thing of like him choosing himself without making it a love triangle with a white woman choosing between him and white men. And I just feel like this is still a way to placate white people. I don't necessarily care enough to see if there's a fucking twist, because I'm like, y'all can go and see it. It might be like, it may change it. But my mood soured immediately upon seeing the rest of this, because it's just like, I've been complaining about it in like YA and other stuff too, because it's like, it's not just I am an equal opportunity confusion person, because I'm like, I can't say like I like hate it, because it's like, okay, here's the thing, and it's funny because it's like, and I can relate this back to something in comics too, but like less problematic. For all intents and purposes, as much as there are gender wars and stuff like that, generally when black people get in relationships, overwhelmingly we choose each other. However, in the media that is produced that is supposed to be quote-unquote blackity black, especially like when it comes to like YA or when it comes to these fantasy things, and it's supposed to confront white supremacy, for some reason, love interests are normally white. Not even other people of color, but white. And it's just like, it's another way to include them so that like we can still get dollars from them. And it's like, from a financial standpoint, I understand. I hate it, but I understand. But it's like, at some point, it's tiring, because it is an overrepresentation of something that is not as represented in real life in a way that like the media portrays. And it's not even something like, because like I understand people are going to say this, because I'm like, I hate using the word agenda, because the people who use it are generally hoteps, and they say something else is overrepresented, and it's not. Because it's like, it's not like it's a like for LGBTQIA and stuff, we do want to see more of that represented, because they are maligned in society. A lot of times though, black people in interracial relationships are not, I don't know how to describe it.
Jovenil, hello.
Hello.
It's like they're doing the nerd gets the it girl from the jock storyline, but using racial themes.
Yeah, it's not the same, and I do not like it. It is very much, it feels like part of the fantasy is basically escaping from the rest of black people. That is kind of like what I feel like. I understand this is kind of like my personal thing, and I do sit with that. But kind of growing up and then seeing how like do a lot of this like gender war stuff, and a lot of the times it does kind of culminate in either party picking a white partner or a non-black partner. It feels like when we're doing this, especially in the realm of fantasy where I see this the most, it seems like part of the fantasy world is leaving behind a black partner. And that is kind of what I hate, and what I like, what my mind kind of fights against, and why I'm tired of seeing this. Because it is so overrepresented. And I'm just like, that shouldn't be part of the fantasy. But it feels like it is. Did I get all of my like
Yeah, but I feel like that's.
I
like,
know it's personal. But
yeah,
it's-
I see how you draw that conclusion. That feels really personal.
Yeah. But like, I mean, to be fair, a lot of this stuff like often is. It is really personal, but it's just like I've also just kind of like I see it so much. It feels kind of like it's kind of like one of the things because it's like again, I don't know, like a lot of people aren't in the book in like the bookish realm. But if you look at a lot of like the YA book things or whatever, and a fantasy where there's a black girl main character, overwhelmingly the love interest or interest, because there's also like a lot of like love triangles with like these like black girls, they're white boys. And like you, because I've been discussing it with you, you've kind of seen that though, right?
Yeah.
And like you've also kind of like seen where it's just like I've drawn that conclusion where it's almost just like it feels like the realm of fantasy as like almost pushing. I mean, I joke about this because I don't think that is what they're pushing, and they do try to have like whatever, but it's almost kind of like divested fantasy. And but like on that same token with like these
Sorry, we're gonna do a quick BRB.
oh what's
Expecting it to be bigger. So I've seen people talk about like how big the PS5s are. And oh, this is the disc version. So the only thing I could kind of hope for is like one of the ones that had a bit more ventilation added to it, but this is a really nice wrap that like comes straight from the factory. So yeah, it's really dope. This is my new live story, bro. That sucks. Law BMWs indeed. We're back.
yes, but no, like you would agree though that it seems like it's overrepresented.
Oh,
in this
absolutely.
way. So and then in that same
At least in popular YA.
yeah, in that same token.
Was that Blood and Bone where like the random white boy shows up at the end of the book?
He technically shows up in like oh yeah, you're right, the first
He shows up like right at the end. Like, why are you? Like,
it's supposed to be a
this nigga
fictional
takes-
African country.
this nigga takes a boat into the this non-nigga takes a boat into the story. It is literally the weirdest shit I've ever seen.
Yes. And I'm like, and that one I feel like is pretty like known that the black boy is gonna win, but it's still just like in a book that's supposed to be in a fictional African country. And like I understand that everything revolves around like the main character because that is what makes the story. But like the one, you know, non-nigga that sails into town finds her. It is the second leg of love triangle. Why? So all that to say, even in like the fantasy stories and stuff with like black boys, and like again, while I am okay with the concept, because I'm like, you know, I think Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy are cute.
Like you feel like there's a lot more work in that relationship that's been done to build that out.
And but like there's that, and it's like it's just, you know, it's whatever is cute. It is also kind of the same because it just feels like, so you know, because books, a lot of YA books are more women focused, and a lot of fantasy that like we do see go to screen for the most part are more male focused. It's like from both sides, and I hate both sides in this because like we also know that overwhelmingly though black women are more likely to stay within a race than like black men, but it's still just like it's overselling this whole thing of
Sorry,
like
1 second. Sorry, I know the game's screen has crashed. I will have to fix that in just a second.
okay,
Fuck.
yeah. Does that mean our voice being crashed?
No,
Oh.
voices are fine. It's just
Yes.
the capture on the video is crashed.
Yeah.
Like, because our camera is still fine too. If you'll hit the chatting button, that'll actually help out. No, on the tablet. See the tablet screen where it says chatting? That, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. That's all I need you to do. because like
now
the game.
people can see me and I don't like it.
Anyway,
but yeah, like it's kind of frustrating. It's just it seems overwhelmingly if we're gonna be superheroes or we're gonna have any type of like powers or stuff, even if the story revolves around us, because it's not the same as the magical Negro trope, because yes, we do have a life, but even if the story revolves around us, if we have like magical powers and stuff, we're having our own power fantasies. Why do the power fantasies overwhelmingly, to the point that it's overrepresented, involve us with non-black partners?
Coward.
Like the part of the reason why Black Panther was so beautiful for me is because it was a power fantasy where like at the very least, like when you're talking about the people falling in love, like there's still white people there, but at the very least when you're talking about people falling in love, it was with another black character. And funnily enough, the original creators of Black Panther, and I understand maybe probably for different, I don't even want to say for different reasons, because it's like Storm was also in an interracial relationship at those times, but like at least for Black Panther, it takes two like non-white people that created like Black Panther and stuff. And don't get me wrong, there were issues, but like Black Panther, for the most part, with the exception of that one weird time he was with Sue Storm, or is that Namor and Sue Storm? It's been a while.
It's Namor and Sue Storm.
Yeah, you're right. It's Namor and Sue Storm.
Yeah, because Namor is the perpetual side nigga, and I love that shit.
Love it. But no, Black Panther has overwhelmingly been with a black love interest. So why is it when like white people, not all the time, because like they're also kind of, but like it is more likely to be like white people or non-black people that create characters or create our story will at the very least create us with black love interest. But it's like we do it and we finally like, yeah, because we're going to support like, you know, black people doing this stuff. But it's like when black people make stuff, especially if it's supposed to be blackly black or addressing white supremacy in some way, because there's another thing about a lot of these like weird white books is like they're addressing black like white supremacy and anti-blackness, and then you do that, but part of your power fantasy too that's also addressing this like white supremacy stuff is pairing you with a white love interest.
And Lord Kanti-sama said, I think sometimes the author's putting their own fantasies in their work.
Yeah, that is kind of like what the thing is giving Eldritch Cleaver without the violence, and I don't like it.
What do you mean by that one?
So
never mind.
Yep. So
because when you mentioned this before, like why does it take like two like non-black people in the white presenting Jewish writers of like Black Panther at the time to put like two black characters together? And like my initial response to that was like, well, it's kind of like see, the fact that like Storm was in a interracial turn it the other way because it's loosening it. Fuck. That's it. That's all you had to do.
Okay. All right,
like it takes it out, like it takes back from the argument in another way, but I've seen it where, God, I can't talk. Fuck. Cause like, were you ever one of a few black kids around a bunch of white students? So did they do the thing where you're too black, you must go together?
not really, no.
Yeah, so
But
I think,
like I know about that, but I get it.
Yeah, no, I like when the first time, like
I'm not talking about though, because you're talking. So I do think that happened with Storm and Black Panther. But before that, no, like there was an actual love interest.
No,
that,
I know.
That's who I'm talking about.
I know.
But yes.
Like, because like yes, like the like literally it had to be to the point where there were no white people around for them to write a romance where it was two black love interests.
But that brings me back to the original thing where it's like there was technically supposed to be no white people around in the world for Children in Blood and Bone.
Yeah, that one, God, that was just so fucking wild to me. That's kind of why I punched out of that series. I'm like, you know what, I'm good.
But that is kind of more what I'm saying.
That and the other like writing issues I had with that series, but
yeah. So Monica Lynn, that was the original one. Because like, okay, I do feel like. And I know people hate me for this because technically, yes, I can understand why it's an iconic pairing. But I do feel like the pairing of T'Challa and Aurora was literally like, we need more black leadership. And it's just like, oh, you two are black. Let's pair you together. And they gave no thoughts on how the fuck that should happen. And it was done badly.
What's up, CFC?
Like, hello. And like the original creator was like, of Storm, and was like, hey, I don't think this is gonna work. These are two leading people from their like what's the name things, and it's just there's a long story behind like why I did not like originally how they paired Storm and T'Challa together.
And
like,
the worst part is that was written by a black person.
It was like written by a black person, but it came from the top. And
they said what they wanted and they found someone to make it happen.
Yeah. And they found a way to make it happen. But I'm saying like the fact that like even though that like there was no build up before there and then in the first place is what I'm saying of like the whole concept of it is you two are black, whatever. And like so they broke up a long-standing relationship between T'Challa and a normal black woman who was like always is like I really do feel like I hate the way that they broke up T'Challa and Monica to put them with Storm.
Shit, excuse me.
And while like I like the iconic pictures, I hate the story. And Monica Lynn was a better love interest for T'Challa. And the fact that they broke this up for the bullshit that they did with like Storm, and that's the one that people think is the quote-unquote quintessential black love in the Marvel universe, gets on my fucking nerves. There are several reasons why. Like people think that it's just like, oh no, you're just like anti-black and stuff. It's like, no, you broke up a really good black relationship to put it with Storm, who like, as much as I love Storm as a like character, Storm has not been written with the best history of being with the most racial awareness. Like a lot of times, even like her original conception, I still love it because it's like the first black character I saw on screen like that I connected with because I loved the X-Men. But like even her conception is fucking weird, and it's like it's progressive for the white men at that time who thought they were progressive, but it's not really progressive because it's like, yeah, they basically wanted her so attractive and they were just like, oh, she has like eyes this race and stuff. That's like, that's weird. Like, as much as I like Chris Claremont, but seeing those line notes of how Storm was conceptualized, it's like, that is some odd ass exoticization there.
I'm just gonna tell you, never read the line notes of your heroes, because the line notes for some of the sequel Gundam series are really fucking wild.
Yes. All that to say, like, there's, besides the fact of what they had to do to Storm to, like, make the thing with T'Challa work, and then, like, all of the retconning of the history and stuff backwards to, like, make that work that were weird, and some of the choices that they made, Eric Jerome Dickey should not have written, that love story between two 12-year-olds. That was just kind of like weird as fuck. So weird as fuck. And voyeuristic. I love Eric Jerome Dickey, but like again, he writes adult erotica. You had a black adult erotica author go back and write
A love story between adolescents. Good job, Marvel. Reggie Hudlin. Was it? All right, I keep getting it confused because of the Boondocks. It's Reggie Hudlin, right?
Reginald Hudlin.
Yeah, Reggie Hudlin was involved with that as well.
So, yeah, like
and to be clear, I get it confused with Boondocks because I want to call that nigga Wedgie, but
I really do like want to root for the idea of two power characters coming together, like two black power characters coming together. But there are just several issues that I have with like the pairing of Storm and T'Challa, and it's just like people don't understand because it's nuanced. Like I hate it because it's like people think you're either with the white people who were just like against it for dumbass racist reasons,
or the weird white people that are for it for weird ass reasons.
Yeah, or like just whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm like there are reasons I don't like it that have nothing to do with like the normal racist white people's reasons for not liking it. And it's just like, yeah. So, and then trying to explain that to people who don't know the history and just grew up after the fact, or just like only know of like comic news, because like they made a big ass deal of like this shit was on BET. Like, yes, on BET and the actual like comics part too, but like
BET existed in the Marvel universe. Never forget it.
Yeah, but like also like in the real, because like I know.
Wait, they had Sway at the wedding, didn't they?
I think so. I can't remember. But like also just kind of like, because there's an old head at my job, but like who was like in there, and it was just like, yeah, and he was like, now that like, you know, Marvel's been bucking, it's like now Black Panther ain't gonna Storm. And I tried to explain to him my issues, and like because again of the fantasy of these two power couples and stuff, and like also the people who don't actually like read the comics,
the fantasy of it is better than the execution.
The execution and the reasoning. He was like, yeah, no, so like they just break Nakia and what's the name up, and I'm like, no, that's worse. And like me trying to explain, he's like, well, I don't care, because in my mind these two go together, and it's like the only reason that they're broken up is because like racist white people didn't want to see them together. And I'm like, it's like I can't necessarily like deny that, but at the same time it's like, but you realize that it was like, for the reason of getting them together was a racist reason of like, we need more black readership, but like you didn't give thought, because like the thing with shipping, like yes, shipping does bring in people and stuff like that, but like a lot of people want to see, like you got to see the people individually is understand why you want them together, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like we do shit with like our emotions and stuff like that, and there was little to no investment before in making this relationship, besides the like retconning they did, and like maybe like a week leading up to it and afterwards. And it's just like, but why? And like, yes, I'll say that like, you know, over the years, because like again, like a lot of times like comic stuff, time doesn't matter in universe. But like out of universe and stuff, people got so used to it, and like it just whatever. But it's like, I was like, the way that they did Monica Lynn, who was an actual good on her own character and stuff, to me was almost kind of anti-black for this to happen, because they literally just gave her the permanent like character cancer, and she died. Like everybody else gets to come back, but not Monica Lynn, because she would get in the way of T'Challa and Storm. They literally fridged a black woman love interest to make Storm and T'Challa happen. So when I say I have issues with it, that is the reason why. And it is hard for me to explain like why I think that's like more problematic, because like again, I do like Storm as a character, and yes, like
it's hard talking to someone where the franchise acknowledges and floats your ship, that like, hey, your ship is floating for bad reasons, And if someone is just engaging with the material without
Passively,
passively and not that deep, and you're like, hey, yeah, no, your ship is kind of bullshit because XYZ, and they like neglected like these good things that existed in the story. They're like, well, I'm not engaged with any of that, but my shit is real now, so bye.
And it's frustrating. Like I said, it's like I don't necessarily fault people who like that, but when I'm saying that I don't like it, it's not, like I said, the stereotypical reasons for people not liking it. Like, you would think when I like explain that, like, yes, no, I like Storm better with it funny enough, like Wolverine or Forge or someone better than like what's the name thing. It's not for the normal reasons of like why again, like you would think that because I said that I would be on board with like these YA white love protagonists. And it's like, no, it's because like in the universe that the X-Men is set, it's like, first of all, like I said, now that I like look at it with a more critical eye, it makes no sense that like, yeah, mutants are treated badly. And like they do show that like real racism exists in the comics and like other things. But like there's no, and of course you can't really expect it because it's mostly white authors. But like there's not really been any actual real show of intersectionality of being both black and a mutant. So Storm, for all intents and purposes, is more maligned for being a mutant than being a black woman, and not maligned intersectionally for being a black woman who is also a mutant. So let's get into that already. So for that reason, her people technically are mutant, and they even made the conflict between, I kind of hate it because it's like they drew attention to that in the comics when T'Challa's like, oh, so you're gonna choose the mutants over me? They literally put that in there. So like for story purposes, Storm choosing her people is choosing another mutant. Whereas because like there is more care of,
but like at the same time, like when they went to write the ship,
I know,
yeah, like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like even without them saying it, like making it official, it's just kind of like one of those things where it's just like beforehand, like just looking at all the media up into there, it's like Storm doesn't necessarily get maligned for her race in the same reason that like the same time they were writing Black Panther, they had him like fucking fighting the Klan, and he was with a black woman called Monica Lynn. So in a way, even though Storm is still very much a black character, and I'm not taking her blackness away, even though like the authors like barely remember to write her blackness in the goddamn story, he basically left Monica Lynn, or Monica Lynn was Fridge, for him to come with the way that Storm is treated, this non-black woman. That is technically how it reads. I hate saying it like that because it's like I don't want people to think, look, I'm not saying taking away Storm's blackness. I'm just saying why it felt anti-black for them to take T'Challa from a known black love interest that's been there for decades. Monica Lynn in the comics been there.
Justice for
decades.
Monica Lynn. Monica Lynn deserved better.
To put her with Storm. And I hate it. And the concept of Storm, and it's like why I like hate it for her, is just again, yes, we should have more justice for Storm's blackness, because again, people they did not, like when they originally conceived the character. Like I said, as much as I like it, I'm critiquing something that I love. As held a message for, yeah, race, ethnicity, religion allow. Yes, you're right, because like I am getting,
you have to approve it.
Oh.
Because like it's being held because of the context of the comment.
Yeah. I actually do need to address that. Like, I am also coming from an American standpoint, and this is like our ignorance. We are very loosely ignorant about race and ethnicity and stuff, and it's like, yes, I've taken the time to kind of like learn the difference, but I'm still very much ignorant to it. And I am probably conflating several terms. Like, I am admitting this, very, like, with, like, myself, that I'm learning or whatever, but I am very much in the process of, like, learning and or remembering those differences between race and ethnicity. So, with all of that being said, it does not. And Monica, like I said, Monica Lynn was a Black American woman, and T'Challa, of course, has always been a Black African from the fictional country of Wakanda. So there's been a thing, and Storm is technically a Black American, even though she did, I think, when she was like 9 or so, like get crash landed in Kenya. I believe it was Kenya.
I thought it was Egypt.
I thought it was Kenya.
Fuck.
It's been a while, but they actually used a real country that like her and her parents crashed in, and she was like the goddess. Like,
Hello, Bob the Rock. How are you?
Yeah. So there was a lot.
Wait, what happened to the held message?
I don't know. I hit allow. Oh, like, it just said you committed
Alright.
Yeah.
How are you, Bob?
No, Bob. But yeah,
My wifey is invisible today.
yes, I'm ghost wifey.
Still currently dying, but so far I'm here. Oh man, I hope you feel better soon. At least it's only my allergies that are attempting to slowly murder me.
Yeah. But yeah, so those are my complex feelings about like that. Just in general, it's like I think a lot of media overrepresents certain things, and then even though like I said, I'm not saying we shouldn't have, because like interracial relationships.
Yeah, it was your message. Yeah, I thought she approved it, but
I did too.
I don't know what she hit because I'm in an online race and I can't approve and review mod stuff.
If you don't mind, try posting it again. But yeah, like,
wow. That motherfucker! That motherfucker! He literally slapped me out of the checkpoint. Fucking hell.
Yeah. I just really feel like a lot of the times it does. Okay. Kanti Sama said they'll retype it different. I just really feel like a lot of the times it's more of us that are placating white people at this point now than white people. Because again, it's just weird. Like I said, up until they like did the whole thing with Storm, that like they literally had Black Panther travel to America and put him with a black woman instead of like a white woman, and like gave us an actual black love story. And like they could do that, but here we are in our fiction, in our fantasy, and we're just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the blackity black thing, you know, we're gonna address racism and stuff, this is like really, really black. Makes all the love interest white, or makes a love interest white that like, why? Didn't need to. They could have had somebody come from another layer of stuff and just not be white. And yes, I'm talking about Children of Blood, because like,
It just stands out to me so much. I was so angry at the end of that book. Like, who were you? Why are you here?
mm-hmm. Yeah, and like it's one of those things where, cause like I had the conversation, like if you're not paying attention to the description, like you don't even realize it, cause like somebody was like, cause again it's a Children of Blood and Bone takes place in a fictional African country or African inspired country. Because it is it's not even African inspired country, it's an African inspired continent. So this person came to another continent, and it does have a map, and it's supposed to be like, again, this whole like continent stuff. like, if you're not paying attention specifically to the descriptions, like, a person was like, I didn't even realize that, like, other love interest was supposed to be a white person. And it was like, nah, he had loose, like, flowing hair or whatever. It looked like a, what's it called? They said some type of, whatever the word was for the outside. And I'm like, don't tell me this is and I'm like, looking and reading the description, it's like, this sounds like a white person, but I'll give them and it's like, you go to the official art, and it's like, God fucking damn it.
Like, I clocked that shit when I first heard it in the audio. Like, what the fuck? Why are we here?
I just... T'Challa traveled to America. This was written by... Why do we do this? So, again...
Brought to you by the author's secretly repressed kink.
And again, and like, that's another thing.
Repressed.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, some of these authors are in, like, quote unquote interracial relationships, and I get also wanting to see yourself represented, but it's like, at a certain point, though, like, it's one of those things where it's like looking around. It's like, hey, why do these stories only get popular? Because it's like, again, you only want to hear from one type of voice, and those one type of voice are like the black people who recognize and realize racism and like are willing to talk about their trauma, but at the same time still are friendly enough with quote unquote good white people or good white allies to like publish the stories. And I feel like those are the ones that sell them. And I hate it.
Because it sells to white people too.
Exactly. And because, like I said, the problem isn't with interracial relationships. They exist. The problem is with the overrepresentation to the point where it's like nobody else's voice gets to get heard. And the fact that, again, the part of the fantasy becomes to not commune with and or see other black people. Because there are so many different things where it's just like part of it is like why they're able to quote unquote critique racism is like, well, they're the only black person.
So this discussion in the Magical Negroes discussion actually raised some questions I had, but I first have to ask if y'all have seen or heard anything about the new Who specials.
I have, and I feel ways about those too. I have seen like the new Who things, and I'm like
I've seen like the specials are bringing back like the past Doctors.
Oh no,
or at least Tenet.
Yeah, they made Tenet, and then like they had the regeneration of Tenet to the new Black Doctor, which is I'm not pronouncing it right because it's been a while since I looked at pronunciation.
Let's see, sorry, 1 second. So community notices, here are the car pass calendar. So I get the Rummin Trans Am Corvette. All right. So this is my ignorance. This is racing thing really quick. I thought the Trans Am series just didn't exist anymore. I apparently was wrong. I was informed that Trans Am is indeed
is Shuti Gatwa. There we go.
What?
That's the black new doctor.
But yeah, Forza taught me that Trans Am's a thing, and I want to go see a Trans Am race now because it's basically GT3 NASCARs. And why would I not want to see death traps going at high speeds?
Yeah. Yeah. So I have complicated thoughts on the new Who specials.
So what are your complicated thoughts on the new Who specials? Because
I want to see if
Conti's coming from YouTube, so
yeah. Okay. For me, even before, like, because I know some people also have a thing with like Shruti and stuff. So like I haven't seen it, so I can't actually talk about like the stuff with the regeneration, the Shruti, to see if like I think it's disrespectful or not. Because like I feel like some of the stuff or whatever, it might be more of a homage to like older Who regenerations where weird shit happens, because like that was one of the things I did hate about New Who regenerations, they were so boring compared to old ones. I understand that a lot of people are just like, yeah, but making it more consistent probably like adds more to the lore stuff. But it's like old Who regenerations being fucking different every time. I don't know. I kind of appreciate it.
Yeah, because like it. Let's see. I don't mind help message. Wow, I do not like how the regeneration was handled. I'm sure they have reasons, but it rubbed me the wrong way. Also, is Black Doctor a magical Negro, and how does a white man not write him as one?
Exactly. But like, yeah, no, I was gonna get to that part too. So it's like,
oh, and like at least because like at least in the promo, like when
looks like they just split. When I know what you're talking about, like when the regeneration between the Tenant Doctor.
Actually, I have not seen that
part.
So
I've seen that part.
So what I saw was, I think it's the thing I showed you, was like the creation of the Daleks. And like because Tenet shows up and is like, 1 minute I'm this smart woman, and now I have my old face back. I don't know what's going on, because it seems like it is. Like at least like that moment feels like an homage to like shit goes weird and I don't know why it's going weird.
No, and I'll explain to that, because it's like, okay, I'll get to like the racial optics afterwards, but it's like I actually just want to come from like an old Doctor Who standpoint. So not to sound like a hipster, but I'm inevitably going to sound like a hipster. My dad raised me on old Doctor Who, so. And New Who was pretty good from Eccleston to Capaldi. So it's like I do inevitably like New Who things, but I'm always like, there are certain decisions that I feel like I wish they hadn't made. One of them is basically introducing like love, because I feel like it makes Doctor less alien, and it's like we're supposed to have a human companion to humanize, like, whatever. And like also there's a lot going on with like why I just don't like the fact that they decided to make this love story between Tenant Doctor and Rose, which is why I also think that unfortunately that and like the perceived attractiveness of Tenant is why Tenant became such a popular Doctor, and like why they brought it back. And I feel like they brought Tenant back to make it more palatable for people to accept, because it's like, oh, they have the green light from Tenant, so we do have to do it, because like a lot of people didn't like Jodie Foster.
Is that her name?
Yes. Or it's Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah,
I think.
like Jodie Foster is.
Sorry, you're right.
Different actor.
They didn't like Jodie. Her name is Jodie, but like they didn't like Jodie, and so to have Jodie pass it to a black man, I feel like they probably would have other issues. I hate that on multiple reasons, and I'm like, I also hate that you have to like walk people through that. So there's already that. But in 60 years of Doctor Who, like we've had like we've had series and specials where a lot of the Doctor's old faces met up. We've had like, you know, all sorts of like weird things happen and stuff. We have never had the Doctor go back to his old fucking regeneration face and count that as a new. I was like, why did we do that? The fact that Tennant has become the face of fucking New Who in a way that, like, to me, because I'm like, everybody's had their favorite Doctors and stuff before. It's like, my first one was Tom Baker. And like, again, you see them and sometimes they'll come back in specials, but having him come back is like, you're giving too much power for this one actor over it. I hate it. It erases. I would rather, if they really wanted, I'd rather them have him come back and stuff, and just like, he's not counted as another iteration of Doctor. It's just like, these are missing episodes. I don't know what the fuck I was expecting. I just hated the idea of that. I didn't even watch it. I wasn't going to try.
Oh, the special's not out yet.
They are.
They are?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a teaser for the Christmas special.
know, like there's going to be like like I think an official longer Christmas special and stuff, but like no, they had an episode already within it out. Yeah, I just feel like I hate from like even before we get to like the racial optics of like what they felt they had to do to make Shuti accepted into the Who regeneration universe. I just hate the fact that we did that, and it's just like playing homage to these like like there are certain things that it's like I feel like should be relegated. Like this should happen in fan fiction, and I can understand why people like this in fan fiction are doing it. And it's just like it felt like you just did a whole ass fan fiction. It just ruined that to me. Getting to what Conti said though about like how weird it is that like they decided to put back in the weirder regeneration thing, where it's like they kind of like they showed the like thing of him splitting off from Tenant Doctor. I feel like y'all wanted to bring that back. It is going to look weird, even if I feel like it makes sense. It is going to look weird that you're finally doing this for the Black Doctor. You had to know it was going to look weird. You had to know. And the fact that it feels like to some people, because it was again for Tenet, so like a lot of people are feeling like Tenet took the attention off of Shuti because it's Tenet. He was one of the more popular New Who Doctors. And the fact that you brought him back and did whole storyline with him, because they brought Donna back to like whole storyline where it's like he basically was like, and I'm like, while I can understand like what they were trying to do, I hate that they did it.
You hate they're humoring this part of the fan base.
Yes. And I can also understand like why a lot of Black people that are Who fans are saying, you did this, you humored this part of the fan base, and like while you're trying to like quote unquote make it acceptable for people and stuff like that, what you actually did was ultimately take because he didn't come in I think until like the last like 10 minutes of that show, whatever, take the attention off of Shuti, who's supposed to be the new doctor, and gave Tenet a whole story and just put him in as a regeneration as the last part of that like episode.
See, going back makes sense to me because the old one that worked in the museum said you'll revisit a few old favorites, but the fact that they did it like this just to go into the brother feels pandering.
Yep, and that's kind of like what I felt like, but it's like also I guess with like the quote unquote old favorites, I don't know how to feel about that, because again there was like Doctor Who, don't get me wrong, in like old Who, and when I say old Who was from 63 I think to like 81ish, with a movie coming out in 89, 90.
The War Doctor. Ow, fucker.
Well, the War Doctor is still a New Who invention, but yes. But like, yeah.
I thought that was part of the movie.
No. It wasn't. So, but yeah, like, it was one with the, like, it's supposed to be after the movies, Doctor whatever, so after McGann played him, but no. So, like, yeah, no, for me, it's just, like, there have been a lot of, like, Fast and Loose, but there's always been certain roles that I did appreciate from, like, again, the old run of Doctor Who. And one of those things is like a new regeneration is a new regeneration. If you want to see old regenerations, it's in a meetup episode, not you going back to an old regeneration. And again, I don't know how they did it, and maybe they made it in a way to make sense. But the fact that I saw that happened just turned me all the way the fuck off. And I also did not, and this is also partially my fault too, because I'm a little bit behind. I didn't finish Jodie's Run of the Doctor.
Nah,
because,
I can understand not finishing Jodie.
So, and it's not Jodie's fault, because it's one of those
the writer's fault on that one.
honestly, after the civil rights movement, I was like, I need a break from this. And unfortunately,
And it's been a 5-year break.
Yeah, that break has been 5 years. That break has been 5 years. And yeah, I need to go back because I've heard that like some of the episodes get better, but like I just could not. I loved Capaldi's Doctor. It reminded me of old Who, with like some of New Who's like feeling the storyline. Yeah. So all that to be said, I can understand why people are mad with like the optics of Tenet coming back to pass the baton, the shooting. I haven't seen it myself to make full-fledged assumptions for it, but that's just because like I've been out of Who fandom for a while, just because like I literally could not after that episode, which unfortunately turned into like a 5-year break. And also I think considering how they handled that and with like little to no awareness, and also how they've been handling black companions, because never forget what the fuck they did to Martha. Never forget. That's part of the other reason why I hated like Rose, because it's like it wasn't Rose on herself, it was just like how they fucking wrote that and did that, and like basically kind of leaned into like fandom shit that like I feel like made it hard for other people to kind of come in. And then especially if the next one after was going to be a black girl, it's like, whatever. You could have had somebody to come in and like pass the baton to like Martha, make Martha's thing easier. But nah, you just, you know, threw in racism and stuff or whatever. But like considering how they like treat black companions and like women and how a lot of things have gone, I would not be surprised, and I can understand why Sama is a little bit worried that like with the writers, how can they not make Shooty's Doctor not a magical number? There are several things going on to that. Give me 1 second.
I'm learning I can't take that corner too deep, because anytime I hit any of the sausage curves, that shit just throws me. And I'm gonna get bullied when like the actual race starts. Fuck. Need to pay attention to my shifts. Second gear, dumbass. That's my other worry, is the companion. If he don't have a black companion, I'm a riot. Oh, would my Westlake fit in this? Oh, I could have run my Westlake. Sorry, God, I need to apologize. I need to go throw this in the pits, and it's about time to go try to put down a quali lap. So we're gonna throw it in the pits, do like 1 or 2 practice. Ooh, shit. Do 1 or 2 practice laps on the softs. These mediums are gonna be more than enough. Oh, thanks for hanging out. Ugh. We're gonna finish 1 or 2 more practice laps and then do the event, and I think that might actually be it for us for the day. I need to probably put a little more oversteer into this. Try to make sure I can make each lap count. Oh, cool. He's just looking out here to get drifto points. Oh shit. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking there. Slight lift in. Lifting down, shifting in.
Oh, yep. Actually, I didn't even think about that shit. I'm just... Yeah, I am really just kind of like tired of like new Doctor Who since... Honestly, kind of since like probably mid Capaldi. Like they still had good episodes even at the end, but like probably since like mid Capaldi, and it was again not Capaldi's fault because Capaldi was a great doctor, but it's like after
what's
a
the
while,
writer's name?
The most known offender is, I think his name is Davies. But like there's been a lot of like weird ass stories where it's just like y'all could have left this one in drafts. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, I was gonna mention what you haven't heard the entire time I've been listening to is lo-fi Afro beats.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
But yes, I really do feel like though, I want more fantasies with Black people that center white. I'm not even saying like we have to quote unquote, like, especially if they're set in a contemporary world, that we have to pretend that racism doesn't exist. Although, like, you know, if you're building a new world, I think it's odd that you're like, you want to also put in racism. It's like, just in general, I'm not saying that like if you're making something in the contemporary world that racism doesn't exist, but like, you know, a lot of black people do actually have storylines. Like, I know there are like people who've also been only, but you know, there are times where it's like we can have whole ass times and not even see another white picture, like, or at the very least they're not like centered around that. So,
but like, at least like from the standpoint of the American psyche, it's such a pervading and overwhelming point of origin for so many people. It's hard to like, is that whole thing like it's your wildest fantasy, and it's hard to conceive of a world and like the ramifications of it like not being present.
Friends had whole ass seasons where black people didn't exist in fucking New York.
Right, but like that's the, like, you know what that is. That's the privilege of the majority, where part of that is you don't have to think about the minority out group, but the minority out group has to be wary and mindful of the majority at all time.
I know.
And like,
I'm just saying I hate it.
yeah,
Like, I get it from
fuck,
both.
that was such a good lap, and I fucked that up.
I get it from both a financial standpoint. Also get it from the point of, again, when I say that I like am tired of these stories, I'm not saying that they don't need to be told or that like they don't exist. But why is this the only voice that is being pushed now? Because like, even when I was younger, they used to actually have YA books about black people that didn't center like white people. Now, of course, like I'm kind of growing past that, and I'm like, I'm tired of also just in general type of like weird kind of like crime reports. But it's like, what was it? It's like, it wasn't Blue for High. It was something else. It was like with Sharon M. Draper.
I don't know that one.
I know you don't know, but I'm just saying, like, Sharon M. Draper did that. It's like, and like I liked it because it's like none of those stories revolved around, like, they had their own issues and traumas and stuff. None of the stories revolved around a white person. That being said, none of those stories are also like, what's it gonna say? They're not fantasies, which are like are fantasies or sci-fis and stuff, which is in my normal wheelhouse. I read them because I was in a dearth of reading people that look like me. And like I would always go back, and they're actually really like good stories. For like, you know, like their YA books. I think they're actually still relevant today. Yeah, Forged by Fire. Yeah, I love that series. You're right though, but that's what I'm talking about. But like, yeah, they didn't center white people. But now it's like you look at a like YA book now, and it's just like, oh, it's a black person on the cover. This is gonna be so good. And then you even hear people talk about the reviews, and it's like, oh, this is black and black, black, black. And then you read it, and it's like, love triangle with two people. Okay. And again, not saying that it can't happen or we don't need it, but it's just like, it's too common. It is too weird, and it feels like the only people's voices are the people who have been only in a space. Those are the only ones that are allowed to make it in the publishing industry, or the only ones that get pushed to us in the publishing industry. And they're pushed to us in a way where it's just like, this is what it means to be black, or this is like, it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't like it. It's too prevalent. Oh, Conti owns a few the book. I think I might like it if possible child that Jared and I create enjoys. By the time they get that age, I will probably revisit those books and see if they are still like very relevant considering like in the landscape. And I'm like, I would probably have like a lot of books, but I think I actually gave my last one to my cousin who was around that age, and it was what was the one with the girl? I can't remember which one it was. It was, I know in like the reprint the book was purple, but like, yeah.
Sorry for yelling over you. I was
Oh no, it's fine. crest. And yes, I said
I was trying to keep it on the track, and it was like just like I was a fucking hair's width off of letting that shit slide off. God damn. Darkness Before Dawn. That's one of the ones I have.
It was
What?
Darkness Before Dawn.
What, you don't want to introduce him to the blue sword?
Alright,
what's the event? How many laps I actually got to do here? So it's going to be Laguna Seca, lightly cloudy. Yeah, I'm going to need mediums. Car, tire. Can be 5 laps. Medium time.
so I'd have to say, yeah, we used to do that. We used to just not care if white people were reading, because it's like, again, it was an underserved community who needs books. And I'm like, there's still an underserved community because it's like, I also need books. But I would like I want fantasy. But I'm tired of, it's always, I am the only black person in this society, in this school, in this busting thing, or we're the only 2 black people, or we're the, something else, please. Something else. And there is a book that is supposed to be coming out that's supposed to be handling that. It's a black fantasy written by a black man, and it's taking place in a magical like HBCU coven, which I'm like, that's interesting. I am looking forward to seeing what that's about, and it's supposed to not be based in racial trauma, so hopefully it's good. But I also feel really bad because unfortunately, and it's not his fault, but we have to put so much pressure on him because there's such a lack, and I hate this for him. I hope he knocks it out of the park, and it's just like, it's, great.
Closest you've read is the Parable series.
Yeah, I love the Parable series. I have read the Parable series. Yeah, I feel sad for him because we do have to or not, we have to hold him up to him, but he's going to inevitably be held up to a standard, and I'm like, that's unfortunate because he's going to be the only person in there. I did hear Blood Debts is also supposed to be like pretty mostly black center, but I haven't read it. But I also heard really mixed reviews about like how good it actually is. But yeah.
Alright, let's get this race on. I'm gonna do this race, and then I'm probably going to
I just got cherry. But like, do you see what I mean now, as far as like why I feel like a certain way?
Oh, I understood why you felt a certain way, but I also understand the story. Like, at least like my assumption of the story is I understand why it is the way it is.
Yeah, I can understand something, but still being like, I still feel like I've seen that story too much. I still don't care about it.
I told you I care less about it seeing the way they went, the direction they're going with it. It's not what I wanted to see from the movie, but whatever, go off, Chief.
Yeah, like I can understand something and think the story makes sense, but it's just like, is this the satire that I wanted to see? No, that's not the satire I wanted to see. That's how I feel. It's like, yes, I can understand where the satire comes from. You literally could have picked another angle.
Sorry. Get in there, get in there, get in there. Oh, God, if I didn't fishtail, I would have had that line. Break early, take the inside. Yo, these cold mediums are not doing me any favors.
Also, I should actually like look up the name of that book so I can, tell you if you do want to see it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the story about the black boy at the magical HBCU is called Blood at the Root. Again, it's not coming out until 2024. I hope it's good. It is on my radar. I do plan on reading it, but I'm not trying to be the first person to read it because I'm like, I need to know beforehand if I'm wasting my time, because at this point I'm tired. I don't want to be the first person to figure this out. Let somebody else find out for me. I'll wait till the reviews come and then I'll decide. But yeah. I will also say that I have like tried to read a YA fantasy that does have like black love interest and black vampire love interest. That being said, I like the idea of the book. The execution kind of left a little bit to be desired. It is very much kind of like it's a YA book, and most adults are like, or most people in YA are like younger Gen Z or Gen Alpha. And as much as like I enjoyed it, again, a lot of people just think of YA as just a genre. It is an age category, meaning that it has to reach its targeted audience. As much as I like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, how many young Gen Z and Gen Alpha are Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans? I'm not talking about your odd like little cousin or something that you introduced them to, but just on a regular level. So there's that. It reads very much like a millennial wrote this book and they're still stuck in their millennialness. Because like, again, you can have like certain like references, because there are things that like I know like apparently like Bluey and some of the kids or whatever things or whatever will say things that reference above our head, but the amount of Buffy references in it, you would think that Buffy is still Buffy is still relevant. That was number one. And then number two,
fuck, I'm gonna get penalized like shit. That was a really bad cut. That was really bad. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and then number two, I had a hard time believing the main character's emotions. Like, a lot of the emotional states didn't quite make sense to me. So it felt like emotionally where I was supposed to feel something for, like, you know, her friend's death and stuff like that, it wasn't there, because the way that it was written was just like it was this, and then the next thing was like jumping into action. So there's that. That being said, I think it was okay written. I'll still recommend it. It's called what is it called? Silent Slayer. I don't necessarily think that it is a badly written book. I just did not finish it because I am still looking for something with like really good emotional stakes. But I would say maybe for other people that's still good. Yeah, there's still like white people in there, and like I will say there's a critique that like I had to sit back and think about that does make sense, even though like, so kind of spoiler but not really, because it happens in like the first 2 chapters or so of the book. But like her friends like die in an event, and one of those friends was like a white girl that wanted to go with her to an HBCU, and we know that white people do go to HBCU. But like somebody said, it's like it's almost like the author wanted to give a pat on the back to this white girl for wanting to go to an HBCU that's a friend, and it's like we don't do that here. And I'm like, at first I was like, I think that's a little bit unfair, but then it's like, you know what? It's kind of not. Because, like, it does seem like it was like, yeah, it's like, why? What does that add to the story? Like, especially in the amount of detail that she went in. But, like, of course, you know, that doesn't last too long, but it's still just like, we could have just like left it at they both want to go to
bitch.
they both want to go to Prairie View and left it at that instead of like going into the details. Like, yeah, I know
I'm
it's
about to get
weird
ate up on this straight though.
for a white girl to want to go to an HBCU, but my friend does because she's cool. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, that's very small. So it's like it's just whatever. But it is still a moment that exists.
Hang it on. Fuck. No, you're fine. I'm like listening to you. I just cannot contribute currently. And I don't know much about that series.
But it's just like you are. It's more
the
of like
last
you're
lap.
talking over me.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm just working my way section. Oh, his tires are falling off. Oh, I got him. I'll get him on the carousel. I'll have to brake early and like take the corner cut.
But you're
really
running out of
hard.
fuel.
I'll make it to the end. This is the last lap. So I have one lap down. My tires are good. I have to nail this one. I'm gonna throw hard. Oh, I fishtailed it. Fuck.
I've been about reading because of. Read. Yeah, I am also
Oh
very
god, that's a legal pass. Go for it. Take it, take it, take it.
particular about reading, but like it's funny though because I feel like a lot of the stuff
Fuck.
that like white people pretend to be geniuses read, like, you know, the quote unquote classics. I think a lot of the classics are overrated. You translate some of the storylines into modern things, and it's just like, this is just some of those stories. I'm just like, this is just a Tyler Perry script with like white people. Not all of them, but yeah. And then if they're not, they're just like really just not great. So I have thoughts about that too, and it's just like I read for both like entertainment and knowledge. So it's like I have some nonfiction book recommendations, stuff that I do that I really like to get smarter. But sometimes it's like when I'm reading for entertainment, I do have a floor. Jared will remind me sometimes that my floor is a lot of people's ceiling. I don't necessarily think that, but he seems to think that.
I've seen stuff that's below your floor, so I'm aware. I like
Like the
often-
one thing that I thought that I was like, oh, I'm reading trashy. He's like, nah, they're still kind of good.
Yeah, no, they're because like it's good character writing. Like yes, it's like simple, but it's like really breezy. It's really light. It's well put together, and the plots are actually pretty decently constructed. Man, I was fighting that guy so fucking hard. I was so close to finishing third on the podium, and I just that's like probably the best race I've had. It's been interesting. I'm starting with Dostoevsky, and I have War and Peace on the list too.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, I can put a rotary in this bitch? Oh, wait, fuck. I did not mean to continue Yasmer. But I do want to run this at Yasmarina.
I just like you saying yes.
Yasmarina.
Yeah.
All right. All right. It depends on how long practice is. If practice is forever in a day, it's 8 minutes for practice, and it's going to be like a 10-minute race. So I'll do this, and this will be for real my last race. Because we have to go out and
But yeah, Kandi, you should definitely let me know how those go. Like, I am still looking more adult fantasy. I will say, I still really like cause Kandi, I know I've been preaching to Car about like a lot of like the YA fantasy stuff like that. I will say there is a high fantasy, but there is or not high fantasy. I wouldn't stop using that word because I know where it comes from, but like a epic fantasy. There we go. There's an epic fantasy by N.K. Jemisin that just has like black characters and black relationships, and there's no explanation or anything like that. But like regular racism, and that one is called The Fifth Season. It's really good.
Oh, I need to read more of this.
It's a trilogy. It's called, I forgot the name of the trilogy is called, but the first,
Broken Earth.
yeah, Broken Earth. The Broken,
It's either Broken Earth or Broken Land. I forget.
it's the Broken Earth. The Broken Earth trilogy. It's really, really good. Start with the 5th season. And I like that one. It's kind of like one of my favorites. It starts off a little bit odd if you're not used to like reading in the second person,
It's so good though.
but it's really good. And the reveal was good.
The way that story culminates is probably one of my favorite books I've read in the last 5 or so. If you want some grim dark, there's sort of a similar like 40K novel where it's largely centering black people and just like you don't, oh, what the fuck, and just no explanation. Nah, like these people are black, you're fine, get over yourself. But I will say the 2 stories following this family are grim dark stories. I kind of want you I want you to listen to like at least like 1 or 2 of the chapters of the book to hear what they say this character sounds like. And it's because they have a really, really thick Scottish brogue, but it's a black girl with a Scottish brogue. Like, and imagine your hairstyle if instead of 2 braids and then wrapping in the back, they did your hair in a single braid and then coiled it around your head. That's because she has to wear a pilot helmet. That's how she wears her hair the entire time in the book until they do really bad things to her head. But that's grim dark. Yay.
And you know I don't like.
Yeah, I won't make you. I tried to get you to listen to like the end of the book for like talking about like how they were like respecting her. And I think so. The books I'm talking about are part of the current 40K storyline called the. It's an sort of a spin-off and extension of the Indominus Crusade books, but the series is called Dawn of Fire, and particularly you meet the characters in, I can't remember if it's like 3 or 4, but it's called the Gate of Bones, and this girl who is a young black woman it becomes the hero of the story. She's the pilot of a giant robot called a Knight. And basically she helps lead like this massive charge that helps liberate this world. But she is killed in action throughout at the end of the fighting. And the people that fought beside her basically say like, well, her and the rest of her people will take her body home so she can have like an official state funeral. And this is rejoined, I think it's 1 or 2 books later in the book called The Iron Kingdom, because you find out that her mother, who is the queen of the world named Commodore, had basically survived like this great calamity that befell the empire, and had basically held this world together by like the strength of her personality and her force of will and arms. But of course this did not make friends, and like some people were rebelling against her in the process, namely one of her brothers. But as all of this happens, the empire comes knocking and says like, hey, glad you were able to survive, but don't forget you're part of the Imperium, and it's time for you to do your job as an Imperium protectorate and let us use your world as a resource station. And she is hesitant to do this, and they basically use her daughter's body as a bargaining chip. towards her, and it all just goes badly.
Yeah, I was gonna like read the thing about like the response to NK Jemisin, but it was like, yeah, like I have their new list of stuff to look into. I'll have to add that as a byline. Yeah, NK Jemisin.
Absolutely, yeah. Read NK Jemisin. Like,
yeah, she's a good writer, but also
The City We Became is good. The City We Became 2 is.
yeah, she does play around, so it's like you're not going to get same stories from every single series. So she does experiment. So it's like, I'll say that. But even though I didn't necessarily care for like the second
The World We Make
and The City We Became, like I still like the first book. So, and it's just like I still feel like, even though as that she's still a like must buy author for me. Just because like the fact that she is willing to, and like even when she does kind of like switch up genres slightly, like she can still, she kind of reminds me of like Michael Jordan of like fantasy sci-fi genre. Like,
I will say
he's better.
like,
she's better at some things, but she's still pretty good.
Yeah, I will say like, while I'm not I enjoyed the world building that occurred in The World We Make. I did not necessarily enjoy. Oh fuck! I just realized I really fucked up my qualifying time. Fuck.
But I really like most of all of the like Broken Earth trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was
Even
gonna
though
say
the fifth season can like stand on its own.
Yeah. I was gonna say like I appreciated the world building that happened in The World We Make. I did not necessarily like, my issues with it were like how the narrative resolved. But I like how the story works out, but I did not necessarily like. I like how the world built out. I don't necessarily like how the story culminated, but we will see how that proceeds. Oh, I'm in a really bad spot. At least this is a relatively small field.
As you see, I have complicated feelings about like the media I enjoy, and like I can still really love something and critique it. I feel like more people need that still, because I'm like, sometimes like, look, I know I like stuff, but like nothing.
Oh shit! Almost fucked up. I need 8 laps of fuel. Oh, I would have been so sad.
Oh, and I'm guessing you also don't like fully fill up because to make your car heavier.
Yep. So you put in just enough fuel for the race, and you need to make sure you have the right type of tires to go the distance. Because like these short-ish races, you don't really need. I don't need hard compound tires, slower, and soft compound tires won't last the whole race, and I have to pit to get tires to survive the entire stint. So it's about like testing and figuring out what just.
Interesting. Yeah.
There's some strategery involved in getting all this shit ready. I see. That's me with Marvel. I love those movies, but I will roast the hell out of them.
Exactly. Like
we're 2 or 3 movies behind, so yeah.
It's one of those things, and it's like I understand like everybody has like their babies and stuff, but I'm like, I can still have my baby, and like
your Blorbo.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'll defend them to people who are true haters, like, you know, but like I feel like within the community, like, why do we as people feel like, you know, if we have a critique, at least we don't like, or you know what I'm saying, like I don't understand why that like because I'm like,
fuck, sorry,
even with like old Who and stuff, like there were certain things where it's just like,
let me out.
Not have made that decision. So,
well,
yeah,
there goes my race.
Yeah, but also, Kenzie, since you were talking about like reading like classic stuff, so like I actually really do like some of the weirder classics that like white people do, because I was like thinking about it. I really liked, what was it? What's the Franz Kafka? It's like, it's not Transformation. It's
The Foundation.
No, it's Isaac Asimov.
Oh.
It's something that's like a synonym for transformation. Look it up. I can look it up. But so I like that. That book, that short story was weird as fuck. But because you've heard of that. Have
No.
you had to read Franz Kafka?
No.
So the beginning of the book starts off with him turning into a roach, and his parents don't know that it's him, and he's like a large, like human-sized roach, and they tried to like he at first tries to like let it work, and like his parents tried to like kill him because
A roach.
yeah, and they don't know what happened to his son, and it's like it's so sad. And the Metamorphosis, that's what it's called. It's a short story. It's wild as fuck. I don't know why. Like, I think it's because it's like, it's kind of like dark or whatever. It is a I forgot what it's supposed to be, like critiquing and satirizing. But it's just like the fact the story starts off with like,
Nigga, I'm a roach.
I mean, not like that, but it's like, because he doesn't realize what's going on. It's like at first he's like trying to roll out of bed, but it's just like it's doing this, and it's like, huh? And then his legs, and it's like, oh snap! I feel like, because he like crawls over to the mirror, it's like, what's this? And it's like, it's still in this because like I think it's critiquing like hypercapitalism. In this, it's like I have to figure out how to get to work before I get fired because like he's the only person keeping his family afloat in his apartment. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like in a working society, if you turn into a rich, that's a sick automatic sick day. But no, he's trying to go to work. Oh yeah. Oh, Kanti is like, yeah, he read that in high school literature class. LOL. Yeah. So I thought you would have read that too in high school. Whatever. So yeah, that story is wild, and like I guess now considering we're in our hyper capitalist hellscape, maybe I'm due for a reread of that, because if you think about like how the fact is like a lot of people just went to work during the pandemic, maybe if we did turn into roaches, they'd still try to figure out, it was like, okay, well if you're a roach now you can carry more shit, get to work. I feel like Bezos would do that.
What? Oh, it's Sorry to Bother You, where they turn into like little horsemen.
Yeah. But it is it's a very short magical realism story. I liked it. I would read that shit again. Animal Farm. Yep. Shit, Animal Farm hit different considering like, you know, what the pigs do when we're talking, we're having our conversation about what it means to be a black creator in a fantasy and spec fix right now. Just saying. Actually, I can't.
Fucking hell, come on, get it under you.
That's what she said.
No.
Yeah. I do wish, because like I didn't realize like how much I would love them, we read more black classics in high school, because like I think high school was part of the reason why it's like I stopped reading again until like I was an adult and picked it back up, because it's like the compulsory reading really does take the fun out of reading. But all older books would be like kind of like weird and stuff, but it's like nah, like James Baldwin really knocked it out of the park with If Beale Street Could Talk, and it's like one of my favorite books. And I'm like, you mean to tell me as far as like when we were picking classics, we could have been reading James Baldwin, but instead we read like, not that anything was wrong with it, but like we read The Great Gatsby?
I'd also read Beale Street over Gatsby. I'd rather read Beale Street over Gatsby.
Yeah, same. I was like, nah, If Beale Street Could Talk, I love that. Gatsby,
Come on, let it out. Recover and then go. You know, me and these curbs do not get along. I think that means I'm a little too oversprung.
That's what I said. Maybe I shouldn't have made that joke.
What is that? Oh. I get that one. I got 2 laps. I think I can at least beat them.
2 laps.
2 laps. I need to take the outside line on him. Brake late. Carry speed. Well, that fucked up. That speed sucked. Racing line. Down. Second. Fuel
Oh
left.
yeah, because like I told you that like the movie basically follows the book with the exception and the culmination at the end. So like you said that you appreciate it if Bill Street could talk over Great Gatsby.
Yeah. Like I think it serves like as you're reading for education, I think Gatsby serves a different educational purpose than what
they do.
Beale Street does, because like you use Gatsby to teach people imagery. Excuse me, not imagery. What is it called?
Symbolism.
Symbolic imagery. Yeah. And Beale Street, I feel like, is a.
I mean, I get it.
Oh,
There is-
whore! You whore!
So-
the fuck is wrong with you?
So I feel like that being said, because you saw it in the movie, is different. But there is symbolism in Beale Street. But like the
I had him. Piece of shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to my haters, because you can't let me have shit. Alright. Well, shout out to my 8th grade teacher who had us read Copper Sun, Milkweed, and Rumblefish.
I actually have not read or heard about that, so I am going to look that up and probably.
I will say, like, at least in like my classes, I think this is like either 7th or 8th grade where we read Gatsby, and we also read Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry.
I do remember that. I love Roll of Thunder.
Yeah, like that one, because like whereas like there is symbolic imagery in if Bill, or like from what you're saying, there's symbolic imagery in Bill Street Could Talk. Like 50% of the weight of Great Gatsby is carried by the symbolic imagery of them. Like it's a story told in metaphor and synonym and not in like direct story. Yeah, and I guess like because I did see it in a movie.
Yeah.
But Beale Street didn't really do that, but
I mean, if you see Great Gatsby in the movie, you would also look like.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I think we're actually going to go on and call that quits for the day. We're gonna go like do some shopping and hiking. And I'm gonna go figure out some other food to eat before I go outside. But y'all, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for listening to us ramble about like whatever the fuck we felt like today. We'll try to do these more often. I don't think we're not doing it next weekend because holiday activities. So, and then the weekend after that will also be gone. So I will probably see you all in the new year. Well, I'll see y'all before that, but just no more weekend streams. But see you again on January the 6th for my Saturday crew. And I hope you all have a great day now. Take care.
Bye bye.
We out.